Happy Monday, everybody. Ben Woods, 97.3 The Fan. What a pleasure and honor it is to be here with all the Tier 1s out in the audience in America's finest city. Let's get our heads right on a Monday morning. I know it's hard. I know it's very, very hard to get your heads right these days. A lot of darkness out in the world. And trust me, I feel it just like you guys do. Just like you guys do, it's a bummer. No question. This time of year can be hard on people anyway. And then you just click on your news and you're just devastated by things that you're seeing across the world and here in our own backyard. It's just brutal. So I just a little, not advice, but just remember there is good. There's good out there. Look to the light if you can find some, certainly. But yeah, really tough weekend news-wise, certainly. But we will be here for you. Try to be a light for you today. Be a light for each other. Certainly the Tier 1s always brighten up my day. Most of the time brighten up my day. Sometimes they're mean. Not Tier 1s, but randos can be pretty mean at times. It happens, but just wanted to let you guys know we're here for you. Going to be here for you for the rest of the week and going to finish the year on a high note, hopefully. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Rindle, the executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. Good morning, Benjamin.
Good morning. I think everything gets a little bit accentuated this time of year, which includes the bad, unfortunately, not just the headlines over the weekend, but there's a lot of loneliness over the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
People who don't get to spend it with friends and family, which is just, I think it's even harder this time of year. But I've also seen just immense generosity this month, hosting our month of a million meals phone bank for Channel 10, watching what our friends down the hall did for St. Jude's Hospital last week, and raising, what did they raise? Over $300,000.
Yeah, like almost $350.
Was incredible. Great job by John and Tammy and the whole crew down at Quezon. We've got our Christmas and holiday extravaganza, and we're going to be raising some money for Heaven's Windows this week, and we'll be talking about that and everything fun we have planned for Friday. So everything's just a little more everything this week and this time of year.
Yeah, I mean, especially like the Christmas, if you're in a family, you got small kids like I do, the Christmas activities are seemingly never ending. And, my wife actually told me, you've been so pleasant. You've been so pleasant.
She said, year. You've been so pleasant.
That was a quote from her yesterday.
Congratulations on your pleasantness.
You've been very pleasant. I said, I've really been trying. I've been trying to be more pleasant.
Isn't that just automatically insinuate you're not normally very pleasant?
Which I know, though. I mean, I knew that. So, like, I appreciate. I don't look at it as a glass half empty. I look at it as a glass half full. When I get a compliment, like, "Hey, you're looking good. Look like you've been working out." That means that really means you were a load, and now you look better. And I look at it as a compliment.
See, now, I think you figured it out because you're getting credit for being pleasant. I am pleasant 24/7, 365. I get no credit for it anymore because that's just my resting state. He's always pleasant.
Yeah. No, yeah, I've gamed the system a little bit. Be a huge a-hole most of the time. And then when you're pleasant, it stands out.
Yeah. Get a round of applause for it.
Yeah, it's exactly right. So I did. I got a nice shout out from the wife yesterday. So you really have been pleasant. You've been very pleasant. I said, thank you. And then, my 7-year-old came in full of piss and vinegar, and had to get in his grill a little bit. But it's he's learning too, man. It's really something watching the dynamics of the neighborhood in my neighborhood go down. I mean, it's a bunch of little kids playing, but they're all out in the street and they're all fighting to be the alpha, right? Every single one of them wants to be the leader of the wolf pack, and you see them jabbing at each other, like you guys. I said it this weekend. I'm like, hey, you guys are friends. Don't forget you're friends. Remember, at the end of the day, like, you're friends. You love each other. And boy, they're all trying to climb that top rung. It's really fascinating to watch. And, we as parents, we have this debate all the time of like, let them figure it out on their own, or, okay, now it's crossed the line. I got yesterday. So this is fantastic. I'm sitting at home. I'm in my office, and Bo's across the street playing with one of his best friends. All of a sudden, I'm sitting there, and this happens. Somebody is beating on my front door, and like panic. So I run to the door, and it's our neighbor, Luca, who is like my favorite kid. I love him. He goes, I've got a report.
Uh-oh.
And I go, oh, okay. And this happens a lot because I've told Luca, hey, if Bo's being a jerk, you tell me if he's being a jerk, right? And because I want to know. And Luca goes, I got a report. And I go, okay. He goes, yeah, Bo's just been really mean. He keeps calling me names. I go, well, what's he calling you? And he goes, Larry. And I go,
Larry.
I go, what? And he goes, yeah, Larry. And I looked at him, I go, so what? And he goes, well, I don't like it. And I go, okay, but like, you really had to come over and kick my door down because he's calling you Larry? Do you know his vocabulary, what he could potentially call you? Larry, Luca, I'm sending you home, and go be happy that it's just Larry that he's calling you. It's a true story.
Larry.
Beating on yes. And I go, Larry, you really came over here to bother me for this? For all the stuff that he's done? This is what you came over for, Larry? So Bo walks in, I go, what were you doing? He goes, I was calling him Larry. And I go, all right, you're fine. You get a pass. Just knock it off. I mean, it's just the craziest power dynamic. So we were driving the other day, and they all played baseball together. And you listen in the back seat, and these dudes are like, yeah, well, you dropped that ball. Well, you just struck out. Well, you were crying. Well, you were crying too. And it's like,
they got to one up each
why
other.
don't you guys just shut up, man, and get along? You're on the same team.
I truly think one of the hardest things about being a kid, and I remember this from my childhood, is trying to decide when to tattle.
Bro, thank you.
Because if you do it too much,
then you're Timmy Tattletale.
You're a tattletale.
You're a
and
snitch ass.
No one likes the tattletale. But
you have to
do it. If you cover up the really bad stuff because you don't want to be the tattletale,
then
that's a problem.
Then you're the chump.
Then you're sticking your neck out.
For someone, of younger age who doesn't understand perspective entirely of what getting called Larry is not a big deal, but some things are a big deal that should be told to a teacher or parents immediately.
Correct.
And trying to figure out where that line exists is one of the hardest things about childhood.
It really is. And they're having a real hard time with it because I told Bo the other day, something happened at school. They were playing football, and he gives me I accidentally knocked this kid down, and then he slapped me in the face. And I said, oh, okay, well, that doesn't sound great. And he said, I go, well, what'd you do? He goes, well, I told the teacher. And I go, okay. And I go, Bo, here's where you're going to get a mixed message from your old man. I've told you many, many times. If somebody hits you, go tell the teacher, right? We're not in if somebody slaps you, you slap them back, bro. I'm not there yet. Defend yourself in a fight or something, but like somebody smacks you upside the head, all right, go tell the teacher, fine. But I did say, hey, man, context is important. I said, do you know what the word discerning means? And he goes, no. And I go, all right, for example, your dad this year, 2025. I went on a lot of trips, okay? And I caught a little grief for it. I'm going to be very discerning about which trips I take in 2026. Does that make sense? I'm going to think a little bit harder. I'm not going to be as willy-nilly and doing things, right? And he goes, okay, that makes sense. I go, so when it comes to tattling, you have to be discerning. And I said, a slap upside the head while you're playing, by the way, football, Maybe you let it slide and you look at it. I go, did it hurt? He goes, no. I go, okay. So you move on. You're playing football. Boys will be boys, and you go back to your thing. Now, if it's something else entirely and you feel like he was being violent or something, then yeah, man, it's a different story. So, Ben, you're absolutely right. Like the when to tattle, like you can't. Taylor is like, oh, I told on Kai for saying poop, and I told on this, and I'm like, hey. Nobody likes a snitch, but you also just can't wear everything,
right?
You know, when it gets, because they're kids, they're still trying to figure it all out, man. It's just wild.
What you really want to avoid is you don't want the kid who enjoys tattling.
You know,
like it should always think about it, and then if you really decide it's important and you do it, you should feel a little bad about it.
Sure.
But you feel like it's necessary. But you should never be
like, I don't want to do this.
You should never gleefully run to the teacher or the parent to tell on anybody else.
So
that should never be your emotion in that situation.
And romantic about baseball, you're absolutely right. And he said it's more that he asks Bo to stop, and he didn't. Doesn't matter what it was. He set a boundary. Bo didn't respect it. That's exactly right. And I did tell him that when he came home, he was mad because I said, you can't play anymore. And I said, in the grand scheme of things, calling somebody Larry is not that big a deal. I said, but if somebody tells you not to do it, we went on a long walk, just me and him. And I said, if somebody tells you that they don't like it, they don't like it. And I said, that's kind of bullying, you know? And he's like, all right, that makes sense. He goes, I just didn't think it was that bad. I go, it's not that bad. I said, but for whatever reason, it was getting under his skin. And I'm like, I would never do that to Ben, right? I would never get under Ben's skin. I totally respect your boundaries.
It's the wrong thing to do.
It's just a wrong thing to do.
If you're crossing his boundaries, even if you don't agree with Ben's boundaries, to then continue to do
Have
it.
I ever tattled to Adam?
Never once.
Never once. I'm not a tattletale.
Maybe you should.
Adam!
But you were a tattletale, weren't you?
No, I really wasn't. I really wasn't. I could wear it.
Keep
What
a
said?
I could always wear it. I really never.
What's this making me do the corn top
list
again?
I don't think I ever tattled on anybody. I was never a tattletale.
That's good. Adam's a tattler. Yeah, I could see that.
Oh, yeah.
KG the elephant. I could see that. He is a tattler. But it's tough. No, I mean,
but at some point, I probably wore it too much.
Yes,
and should have said something.
Yes.
That's the toughest part about being a kid. You can swing too far in either direction,
no question,
and it can be a problem.
Yeah, that sweet spot is really what you're looking
it's really
for.
Hard
it's very
to find.
Hey, it's really hard as a parent too to navigate. You know, hey, did you do the right thing? Did you not? But I laughed when he because I was really expecting the worst. The way this kid was beating the door down, I was like, oh no, is he throwing Molotov cocktails in your backyard? Because I'll come over and stop that right now if that's the case. But no, it was, well, he keeps calling me Larry. I'm like, okay, look. And again, it wasn't so much that, like, if Luke had said, hey, I really didn't like this. It was the kicking down of the door that freaked me out and had me like, what did he do? Oh, he called you Larry? Oh, all right. Not that big a deal, buddy.
You can call him Lauren.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's exactly right. It's his name. But it's just hard to figure out, man. It's just hard to figure out. So good news is coinciding with our vacation after this week, both of my kids also have vacation. So I'll be professional referee for 2 weeks. Should be a really relaxing vacation. Really shut the mother down and get your head right.
Well, you do have Santa Claus's visit. That is a great discipline enforcer, at least for the next.
It doesn't work for my kids at all.
Not at all.
Not even a little.
Not the empty threat of coal in the stocking. Nothing at all.
Are you kidding?
There's no.
Did it work on your kids? It doesn't work at all. Not even a little. The only thing that works is that app that I have, and that only works for 5 minutes.
I think it puts a little bit of a second thought in their brains. Like, this is a bad time of year to misbehave.
I think they're wise to the whole thing, to be honest. I think they're just wise to, like,
there is no naughty list. Is that what you're saying?
I think also, like, I don't know that that's right either, to be like, you keep this up, you're going to lose presents. And they know better. They see there's all these presents in the garage. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to not bring them out? Like, what are you going to do with them? What are you going to give them away? Like, it's the worst, Betty. Like, it's just the worst. I don't think it works. I don't think it works even a little. You know what I'm finding out as a parent? Nothing does. There's not a damn thing that works, dude.
It's a game of brinksmanship.
It really is. It's just this, like, huge chess match every day of, like, you're looking at him it's like poker. You look at him, you're reading his face. You're like, Okay. Oh, you are. Oh, okay. You're in a good mood.
Mm.
Okay, a little let's do this. Oh, you're a little forlorn. What's happening? And it's just one big poker game. The poker game of life, as it were. But no, that ship sailed a long time ago in my. You guys keep this up, no presents. They're like, oh, totally, sure, no chance.
Well, Santa knows.
Well, I thought too, like because I'm wired this way. I like pranks and stuff. I'm wired to like literally put coal in their stocking just to get their reaction. Like I always like the Jimmy Kimmel video of the when they tell their kid they stole their Halloween candy. I think it's the funniest thing ever. But then every year there's always like 4 or 5 hardos that are like, oh, real cool.
Yeah.
Lying
Traumatizing your children.
lying
It's
and
fun, huh?
traumatizing your kids. You're like, wait, is that what I'm doing? Or am I just having fun? Like, can I not break balls? Are we not breaking balls? I thought we were breaking balls. So it's just difficult. Everybody's got an opinion these days, but yeah, that doesn't work. Doesn't work in my home. I'm sorry. It didn't work for you either.
That's true.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work.
Never really works.
You're so far removed from little kids.
It's been a
dude.
while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, it makes the holiday season. It's definitely not as intense, but it's not as festive. We try to get into the spirit. We threw on a Elf on Saturday night and
Elite film.
watched the movie, which was enjoyable, and I think half of us fell asleep during it. But that's part of the holiday
Yeah,
season.
it's part of
The tree's up, the lights are twinkling. You got a Christmas movie up. That's about as far as we've gotten in our holiday spirit.
We had a neighborhood Christmas party that we went down to. I made it about an hour and a half before I split. And Hannah's great with. She's like, as long as you show up and make an effort, like I'm not gonna make you stay the whole time. Like just come make an effort. It was, they had Elf playing on a big screen. Kids there was hot chocolate and cookies they were decorating. And then we got in the car the next day and we drove around and looked at Christmas lights, and that was fun. Went to dinner. That was great. Kids up in the van in our neighborhood, sitting in my lap looking at lights. It was fantastic. So then I'm like, all right, okay, whew, we get through it. This morning I'm driving to work. I get a text. Ooh, Tuesday night we're gonna get together with these 3 other couples and we're gonna decorate cookies and we're gonna go look at lights again. I'm like, didn't we just do that? I thought we just did that. Yeah, but this is with a different group now. I go, oh. I go, oh, so the same lights in the neighborhood that we've already looked at like 6 times. We're gonna do that again? Yeah, but just with a different group.
It's all about the company you keep.
I guess. And I go, oh, we're gonna do the Ben and Woods Gold member stream Tuesday night, 7:00.
It's been planned for
ages.
Time.
It's not like we planned it yesterday.
No, we didn't just plan it yesterday.
So
it's been planned forever.
So I go, hey, we have a live stream. She goes, okay, fine, I won't make you go. I go, you can't make me go. We have a live stream. She goes, you're off the hook. Okay, I'll let you off the hook. You're not letting me off of anything. We have the live stream. This is work. But yeah, they like to jam all the Christmas activities in, tis the season for all of that. So that's what we're doing in my home currently.
Outstanding.
Paulie, how was your weekend, buddy?
Good, quiet, just
The usual. Just run that on a loop every Monday. What'd you guys do? Nothing, chill, quiet. Like, all right.
just happy the whole time.
Can you make
the kidless life,
Can you do a drop of you just being like, it's good, just chill? And I can say every Monday,
Fine.
Paulie, what'd you do this weekend? Boop. It's good, just chill.
I am once again.
Hold on, let me get it clean.
Pretty good. Just hung out with the wife and got things done around the house.
Save it.
There's his weekend.
Every Monday.
Every Monday.
Like we pick these little projects now. Like we've moved into the point where now it's all just aesthetics.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, let's take an hour. We're gonna go pick up a couple of things at the store. We're gonna come back. We're gonna hang that. We're gonna pose, do whatever, and then it's just back to just chilling,
Now,
hanging out.
Your wife does a lot of cooking. She's a big meal prepper.
Mhm.
And I love that about her. I'm not that at all. And I'm trying
It's been
to.
ridiculous.
That's
so good.
That's amazing. And I've tried.
She got like a food saver, so she's just making stuff, freezing saving it for later.
So
That one on Instagram where you suck out the air and the vacuum sealer thing that I see all the time. You have one of those?
She can put like chicken breast.
Oh, that's cool.
And you just put it in this bag. It sucks it all
Oh,
out.
yeah. I've been
and
watching that thing on
throw it right in the
Instagram.
freezer.
So you get home from work and there's a lunch waiting for you if you want it.
It's ready very easily to assemble if I want to.
Okay.
Sometimes it's in the fridge, sometimes it's in the freezer, and it's you gotta defrost it.
Yeah.
Cook it.
So I attempted to do that this weekend.
Okay.
I really enjoy chicken salad and tuna salad. It's like after my workout every day, go home, have a nice tuna sandwich or chicken salad sandwich. But, both of them can get a little fatty if you don't do it right. And so I'm looking online for healthy chicken salad recipes. And I find one and I go, all right, I'm going to do this. And I go to the store and I get all the stuff. I get dill. I get parsley. I get red onions. I get celery.
Okay.
I get Dijon mustard. And I get a big old fat vat of plain Greek yogurt because this recipe,
Non-fat, low-fat, full-fat,
2%.
2% Greek yogurt.
This recipe called for Greek yogurt instead of mayo. And I had to get my head around it for a moment. And I went, okay, I'm going to try this. And I chopped all the stuff up, put it in, gave it a big, the worst sound of all time, that
It's a bad sound.
Around the bowl, know.
Yeah.
Nope. We get it.
Got it?
We got
Okay.
it. Yeah,
I just want to make sure everybody gets
everybody's aware. We know the sound.
So I spiced it up, Megan. Yes, I put everything in it that I was supposed to. Followed the recipe to a T. A couple more stirs. Got out the bread. No, I started with cracker. Got a cracker out. Put a little on the cracker. Put it in my mouth. Almost threw up. It's the worst thing I've ever had in my whole life.
I love Greek yogurt, but
With honey and berries and
It's
granola.
gonna
Yeah, it's
be-
fine.
that's going to be very tangy.
It was creamy. It was a creamy. I go, Hannah, come here, try
Did
this.
you
She's
put
like,
too much in?
maybe. But I followed it, the recipe. I did exactly. I go, is this 3/4 cup? She goes, yeah, it's about 3/4 cup. Threw it in. Tried it. I go, this is repugnant. This is repugnant. So I tried to even add some mayo to it.
Save it.
You can't take the Greek yogurt out. You know what I mean? Like you can't. Once it's in and stirred, you can't replace it. So I just tried to add some mayo to it. I stirred it up, ate that, and I went, this tastes like ass. It was so bad. Benny, I had a vat of it. So we wasted a lot of food, and I wish we didn't, but I sat down at the table with this, and I made enough for the week, bro. I had a vat of this disgusting, creamy chicken salad, and I plowed through a lunch. I had like 6 crackers.
It's nothing worse than eating something is
It's
terrible
disgusting.
just to not
waste food.
Oh.
And I ended up getting rid of the rest of it. And I feel really terrible about it. And I'm going to make sure that I double donate to the food bank on Friday because I really felt like a piece of ass about it. I really did. I don't like doing that. I've turned into my dad where I'm like now finishing the kids' meals before I throw them away because they don't eat. And so I just realized like, if that means I got to go a little harder in the gym for 20 minutes in order to just eat the mayo, I'm just going to eat the mayo. Yeah, it's got to taste somewhat good. This tasted. I should have brought some in for you guys to try. It was that bad. I did not get scammed by this recipe. By the way, I just followed it. These are people that know what they're doing. It was disgusting. It was disgusting, and I don't recommend enough subbing Greek yogurt for stuff. Just eat Greek yogurt as Greek yogurt. Add some honey, some berries, and some granola. Now you're talking. That's your breakfast parfait. Healthy, delicious, good for you. Tastes fine. Don't put it in for mayo. I'm not smearing it on a burger. Somebody said make some salad dressing with it. That's pretty good. Okay, maybe I can see that. But
That's
it
good.
sucks, dude. It sucked.
I can use a little less mayo in my tuna or chicken salad.
Maybe
but
you would like it.
I don't even like mayo, but you have to have
Yeah,
it.
what are you going to put in there?
I mean, it's
just
it's not-
mustard?
That's the ingredient that makes it taste
Damn
good.
it, man.
I can acknowledge that.
Even when I try to do something the healthy way, it doesn't work.
All right, you guys ready to roll here on a Monday? You warmed up? Foreplay complete?
I'm fired up.
All right, let's do it. We will come back, set the menu, talk about a busy sports weekend, and get the latest on the Padres rumors that came out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and still no major moves by your San Diego Padres. When are they going to happen? Before or after the holidays? Because this is our final week of the year. This is our last Monday on the air. After this Friday, we will be gone until January, first Monday in January. So maybe this would be a good week, hopefully, for the Padres to do something. Otherwise, we're heading into 2026 with a lot of question marks. We'll talk about it coming up after our first check of traffic with Kelly Danick. Good morning to everybody. Ben Woods and Paul with you on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Hey player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open. Hey player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Setting the menu for a Monday here on Ben and Woods. Talk some Padres. This segment, rumors over the weekend. Everything seems to go back to our conversation about the New York Mets anytime anyone discusses the Padres this offseason. Also hearing some Michael King rumors over the weekend, teams that are interested, and they are all very far away from San Diego.
I saw team. First one I saw was, these teams are interested, right? Usual suspects, the Orioles, the Yankees, the Red Sox. Okay, East Coast guy. Makes sense. Then I saw Michael King has narrowed his list to Yankees, Red Sox, and Orioles. I don't know if that was just a different way to couch those teams being interested, or if I don't.
I mean, wouldn't any team be interested in him? And it's kind of maybe that's phrasing it for teams he may be interested in as well, but maybe mutual interest.
I have an idea. I have a feeling that if the Padres made the proper offer, he would come back and pitch here.
I don't think he would hesitate if he got the proper offer.
Correct.
From the Padres.
I couldn't agree more. But maybe that's just.
And they were not one of those teams.
Correct.
But again, very hard to read. AJ Preller. You don't hear much concrete about the San Diego Padres anymore in the offseason.
Well, it's interesting too, because we had this conversation last week about Corey Seager and the Texas Rangers, and their GM Chris Young went on MLB radio, MLB Network Radio on Sirius XM and said, quote, "We are not shopping Corey Seager. I want to make that very clear." So asked and answered. A lot of those rumors going around, Corey Seager being on the block, potentially, but he's not on the block. They want to keep Corey Seager, as we said last week, that they definitely would want to keep Corey Seager. Skip Schumacher is going to be very happy penciling that guy into the 3-hole or the 2-hole for his beloved Texas Rangers.
Go through some of the other moves that were made over the weekend as well. I will say just now, a little breaking news. Jeff Passan tweeting that first baseman Josh Bell and the Minnesota Twins are in agreement on a 1-year contract with a mutual option. 33-year-old Bell will play at first in DH for a Twins team. First big league signing of the winter. There's only, I think, now 3 teams left that haven't made any major league signings. And you'd think, the Padres are one of them. Technically, I believe the bringing back Kyle Hart counts as a major league deal. So they are not on that list, but they're as close to being on the list as possible without actually being on the list of not signing any
Let's go
big league players this offseason.
Let's show them how it's done.
It's been a very quiet offseason. We'll talk Padres coming up. In our 7 o'clock hour, don't do this. We've got some great audio. Phillip Rivers was the story of the weekend, I thought, in sports.
Yeah.
I was wrapped. I watched the whole game. I even forwent Red Zone for a while just so I could see every single play to see how he would do. My expectations were low, and I have to say he exceeded them. And I was now, is he a superstar MVP candidate in the league? No, he can't throw the ball more than 15, 20 yards down the field with any authority whatsoever. But man, the courage that he showed to get out there on that field and give the Colts a very good chance to win, to put them in position, to give them a game, go-ahead field goal in the final minute. The defense had a chance to make a stop for the win. They didn't get it, but Phillip Rivers gave his team a chance to win, and I thought it was a very compelling and inspiring story that he delivered over the weekend.
Yeah, man. Father Time, I guess, Father Time, stays undefeated because they lost the game. But I got to say, man, Phillip Rivers gave him a pretty good battle in the ring for 4 quarters.
That was a win, right, for Phillip Rivers? I know he'll say we lost and it stings and it's not a win unless you win. That was a win. He didn't get killed. Gave his team a chance to win. He threw a touchdown pass. I mean, the Seahawks didn't score a touchdown in that game. Phillip Rivers had a touchdown pass. That was about as good as he could have hoped that it would have gone.
Yeah, I think so. Again, the offense was pretty tailored around a guy that can't throw it more than 15 yards. And, honestly, I think his best throw of the day was the one the receiver wasn't looking, and he had him. It was 6. I mean, if the receiver is running, he's calling for the ball. I'm like, buddy, the ball's in the air.
It's right 3/4 of the way there. I'm open.
It's right on you.
I already did. Phillip Rivers. I saw that before you did.
He had his guy beat by 5-6 steps, and he's like, let's go. And then he's like, oh, there it is. And it hit the ground. I mean, he missed some throws early, which is to be expected. But
I mean, the ball came out slowly,
funky.
wobbly. I mean, he does not have the same
Zip.
He never had the most zip, and now he's got even less zip. But
I was gonna say, even his prime passes
The
weren't
guy
always
is
pretty.
the guy is an elite decision maker.
Elite and,
He-
and can read a
He
defense.
can get up to the line of scrimmage.
That was
he
the
looks
audibles
around.
are what stood
Yeah,
out.
oh,
to
so
me.
good.
Walk
So
up.
fun. To
I mean,
watch.
and that's so hard in Seattle, one of the loudest stadiums
Loud.
in football, if not the loudest, against that team, one of the best defenses, if not the best defense. And he's going and tapping each lineman on the shoulder, going, "We're doing this. You ready to go?"
Dude had 3 days.
I mean, it was very impressive in my mind. Very impressive. And I would imagine they'll stick with him. He gives them the best chance to win going forward. They're up against it. The AFC is very tough right now with the wild card opportunities are drying up with the Chargers continuing to win. The Bills have gotten hot again. I mean, there's just too many good teams in the AFC, and I don't think Indy's going to have enough in the end to make the playoffs, but he gives them their best shot going forward.
It was fun to watch, man.
Yeah, we'll play some of his post-game audio and do
Isn't that
this.
kind of sad if that's truly the way it is? Like 44-year-old Phillip Rivers gives them the best chance. There's no other backup anywhere. Like there's nobody that's actually still currently playing the game and in more peak shape that they can go and
there's
get.
way more quarterbacks who can run better and throw better, but none of them can make the decisions that Phillip Rivers can at age 44. They'll make three bad decisions.
Well, they're going to have to
games.
decide. I mean, they're trying to still make the playoffs. They're trying to still save this season. They're going to have to decide. The Colts are, do we want the decision making or the athletic ability?
But that's also an indictment on football as it currently stands. That a 44-year-old is, you can't. Where are the guys that are able to do that? Right? Where are the guys that are able to again? I watched Gardner Minshew coming yesterday. Like, he hasn't thrown a pass all season, and I'm like, that's a problem. Like, that's a problem. The development of quarterbacks is something that I know a lot of the talking heads were talking about. Like, man, you really had to get a 44-year-old that can read defenses now. That's the only guy you can find that can step in and read a complex defense.
I think you just can't simulate it in practice. Guys need playing time to get that experience against real defenses at real game speed. And the only
That's
if
the
you're a
argument,
backup,
though. That's the same. That's the argument. Is like, wouldn't you? Why are you going to get a guy that hasn't played in 5 years? You're saying
because
he's
done it for 17 years.
Right.
He's read defenses and played against those guys,
and he knows that offense like the back of his hand.
Riley Leonard has done it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, and again,
basically.
That's what I think is the biggest key. Is that he's been running the same offense with his high school.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. No,
if it's a new coach, new system,
he couldn't go into any other team.
he's
and do
not
that.
doing this.
The
right?
Colts are the
Yeah.
only team he could have gone in and done that for.
Yeah.
The only team.
Correct.
I mean, literally, like take the Chargers for example. Like Jim Harbaugh probably has a much different offense. I don't know, but I'm assuming
At this point,
he couldn't just call Phillip Rivers
No.
and be like, "Hey, you want to come back? You got 3 days. Here's the playbook. Go."
I mean,
No.
Phillip Rivers said, I looked at the plays. I knew them all. I mean, there was a couple of tweaks and a couple of names had changed, but
Yep.
I had to do very little
That's all, which is
studying
amazing.
to know everything. They ran St. Michael's Catholic, where he coaches. They run the Indianapolis Colts offense, the Shane Steichen offense. So he's been teaching it to his kids for the last few years,
Which is cool.
which means he lives it every single day. It was very easy for him to adapt and step right in, but he could not have done that for any of the other 31 teams.
Him in there with less than 2 minutes to go, and again, didn't throw any massive passes to get it done, but he made throws when he needed to make throws. They made plays, and the guy comes in, boots that 60-yard field goal. You're like, this SOB really did it. I left too much time on the clock. Left too much time on the clock. They got a good return and kicked their field goal, and he threw a pick to end it.
I was watching the end.
That did feel familiar to a lot of Charger fans.
I mean, that was desperation.
Of course.
It did kind of feel like the new kickoff rules might have impacted Indy there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If you wanted to win that game, you needed to kick the ball with no time left or almost no time left. And they left, almost a minute for Seattle to go down. Both teams have amazing kickers.
But I mean, if you're
who really decided the game.
I'm telling you, if you're Seattle, our friend Trang is a huge Seahawks fan, and she's tweeting through it yesterday going, okay, all right, we get it. Enough. Like, stop taking it easy on this guy. We need to win this football game. Like, they didn't take it easy on Phillip Rivers, but it didn't end like I thought it would.
If you're some 23-year-old linebacker going up against a guy like that, somebody you watched growing up, you played video games with and all that, are you thinking like, wow, that's Phillip Rivers on the other side? Or are you like, you're going down, old man?
No,
I don't know.
I mean, they hit him hard. He took a couple shots for sure. The one play that was really summed up the day is when he dropped back, knees kind of gave out.
He just literally like
Just
jelly
eh,
legs.
hit the turf, and then had to get himself up, and then ran and kind of half slid. I was like,
Nobody touched him, so he just kind of went down and he got up. He kind of like
Looked
did the
around.
look around, like, did anybody see that? I'm good. And then he tried to like run forward, and it's just,
dude,
yeah.
it was cool. It was cool. It was a cool experience to watch, and yeah, it found yourself going kind of anticipating the game, going, all right, what's Father Time going to do today? And man,
I mean, it was probably the most fun I've had watching a football game, a pro football game this year.
yeah,
It was enjoyable.
I missed the Patriots Bills game, and that's the one that I should have been tuned into because that was apparently the game of the day. It was surprised me. So many Patriots fans were on social media, like all the big like the Portnoys of the world, the Will Comptons, everyone tweeting, the dynasty is back. Nobody beats this team, belt to ass, all this. And then, I mean, and it's like, in the words of the great Winston Wolfe, I can't believe this is the same car. Well, let's not go blanking each other's blanks just yet. It's not over. We didn't deliver the dead body yet.
Felt like 21-0 it might be, but no, give credit to the Buffalo Bills,
It's
Josh
unbelievable.
Allen. You're looking for good quarterbacks. I mean, he's the one.
Yep.
He played himself back into the MVP, race with that performance.
Are all of us I love Joe Burrow, always have. I've always loved him. Is he okay?
No.
He's not okay.
No.
Is he quit? He looks like he's going to quit football.
He needs a new team. He needs something to change, I think. It was tough season.
It was tough for
the
him
Bengals,
and
but-
tough for them. But seeing his presser after, and apparently he addressed the team, nobody would say what he said. But he's like, Jamar Chase came out. He had some audio that I thought was really telling. He goes, I think for the first time, I'm going to have to uplift him. He's done it for me so many times in my career. I've never had to do it for him. And now I think it's time that I start. I love Joey B. I really do. Bo loves the Bengals too, but like he doesn't,
It's
watch.
tough to miss essentially the entire season, then come back to a team that is out of it. Like he never had a chance this
Right.
year. They were already out of it by the time he came back. And now what are you playing for? Nothing.
Nothing.
It's tough. I think that's what he's finding really
It feels
tough.
like there's
but-
something in his personal
Maybe.
life, man. I mean, it's like he looks as downtrodden. Because usually, Ben, in a situation like that, maybe the quarterbacks of yesteryear, no, we're going to go out there, we're going to put our work in, we're going to grind, we're playing for next season. There's none of that. He's just like, yeah, I'm just ready for this to be over. You're like, man, and I appreciate the honesty. Certainly, I think it's refreshing, but I just hope that the guy's okay.
By the way, Thursday night, Seahawks Rams in Seattle, one of the best Thursday night matchups we've ever seen. Winner has the best record in the NFC and has the game up in that division with 2 games to play. So that's a huge one coming up Thursday night here on 97.3 The Fan.
Our pal New York Mike says Joey B might be able to turn around the Jets. Lots of draft picks for the Jets. And Mike, I don't know how to tell you this. I don't think Jesus Christ himself could turn around the Jets. I really don't. I think if you called him in, gave him the ball, I still don't know that they win more than 6 games in a season. I don't. As good as he is, as talented as
Joe
he
Burrow
is,
or Jesus
Jesus
Christ?
H. Christ
Okay.
himself could go out and turn around the Jets. And every year you see the Jet fans, well, if we could just get so-and-so, I don't think it's ever going to happen, man.
They had a quarterback yesterday. I think his name was Brady Cook.
Brady Cook.
I had no idea who he was.
No, never heard of him.
Sounds like a quarterback. Like, oh yeah, Brady Cook. That sounds like a quarterback.
Great quarterback.
That's is the extent of my Brady Cook knowledge. Yeah, no, that sounds like it could be a quarterback in the NFL.
I feel for Jet fans. I do. One of my best friends is a Jet fan, and every week he's like, today's the day. I'm sorry, buddy.
Coming up at 8:30 this morning, we'll have our weekly conversation with Craig Elston, Padres Hot Tub Podcast, off-season baseball talk, and more. All guests on Ben and Woods appear on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Biggest fan round report in our 9 o'clock hour. But let's check Sue's traffic, and then we'll come back with the Padres rumors and the Mets. Again, those 2 teams continue to be linked. Nothing's happened, but it's where there's smoke. Maybe there's some fire. We'll talk about it next year on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury. This report is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Watch out, you got to crash southbound on the 15 at the 78. Car slid off the side of the road, flipped over, and hit a fence. Lots of police activity. Then further south at Poway Road, a broken down car blocks the exit ramp. And then very slow on the westbound side of the 52 as you head towards Mass Boulevard. Also hitting the brakes northbound on the 805 as you approach the 15. Whether you're dashing through San Diego or heading out of town, make sure your car is in the game. A friendly text at Valvoline Instant Oil Change will check your lights, wipers, tire pressure, battery, and more with every oil change. Grab holiday savings now at SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Sue Alder with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I don't know about you, Woods, but I've never felt like such trendsetters before. Because every single Padres report now, ever since we talked about Francisco Lindor, the Mets, potential rumors a couple of weeks ago, every single report that has come out has had to address something along those lines,
Sure.
including what Dennis Lin and Ken Rosenthal wrote in The Athletic this weekend about lots of trade talks going on between the Padres and the Mets, but they had to be very, very clear that they don't involve Fernando Tatis Jr. and they don't involve Francisco Lindor.
Yep.
But everybody else seemingly on the table, including Nick Pivetta, Mason Miller, Ramon Laureano's name was brought up, Adrian Morejon, Jeremiah Estrada's name was brought up. Nothing surprising. All names that I would assume the Mets would be very interested in if they were talking to the San Diego Padres. I think the question is, what would the Padres want back from the New York Mets? And for me, the answer is clear. Nolan McLean would be my top target.
It's not happening.
That's what the Mets say, that he's off the table. But if you want to talk about guys like Mason
You
Miller,
want 4 years of Mason Miller.
you have to talk about Nolan McLean if you're going to talk about guys like Mason Miller, in my mind.
Yeah, they're not going to. Why would you? Why, if you're the Mets, why would you? Young, cheap, controllable,
Nick
potential
Pivetta
superstar.
and Mason Miller.
And the Yankees
And
did not give
you're
up
not going to
Michael
even
King.
think about including Nolan McLean in a
Yeah,
deal
but they
like
got
that.
Juan Soto back.
I know. We're talking about giving you Mason Miller, or the best closer in baseball.
After that, would you
I'm
rather
not giving
have
up my ace for a potential ace and throwing in a demon all-star.
So that's too much for the Padres to give up.
Yes.
No, I agree 100%. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So, but
For
then,
a 2-for-1 on that? Yeah.
so
no
you say
chance.
the Mets should be
I
discussing
know
that.
pitching. I know like relief pitching in particular was a strength for the Padres, but Jason Adams hurt. Suarez is gone, and now we're talking about trading Nick Pivetta and/or Mason Miller,
Well,
like our
and-
two
and-
best pitchers.
Right. And Morejon is in there, and more, and I mean, look, what it sounds like is that they have young guys that they have young position players as well that they're maybe ready to move on from, and Vientos and Beatty and guys like that. And they want some of the more proven guys. We would be sending away more proven guys for a lot more unknowns, in my opinion.
I agree. It's a risk, but the Mets have what the Padres need the most, and that is young, controllable starting pitching. Whether it's Nolan McLean, Jonah Tong, Brandon Sprout is a name that is also brought up, and I think that's the clear order. I think McLean is the top tier. He's their top prospect. He's the number one guy. He looks as close to a sure thing as you can get for a young pitcher. Jonah Tong, we saw him make his debut last year, only 22, which is very intriguing. He's the youngest of the three and already major league ready with some rough spots and control. You gotta dial it in, but who would you want dialing it in more than Ruben Niebla? Sprout is a little more of the unknown. I think he's also 24 or 25 at this point, but they're all in their top 5 in prospects in that system. And the Padres do need young, controllable starting pitching more than anything else, which makes sense that they're talking to the Mets right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Tong is an interesting one, certainly. Dominated the minor leagues. I mean, dominated. 10-5 with a 1.43, 179 Ks across 113 innings. Picked up a victory against the Marlins, went 5 innings, allowed four runs, 1 earned, struck out 6, walked none. We faced him too last year, didn't we?
I believe so, yeah.
I don't know that it went well for young Jonah Tong.
I don't think it did. I think we
not.
lit him up in the first inning and knocked him out, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah, I mean, but he's got a young, good arm. I mean, absolutely good arm. But I don't know, man. Like I'm not giving you Nick Pivetta for Jonah Tong. Certainly not. I'd like to win
Well,
some.
I'd consider that. Like straight up one for the other. 1 year of control for Pivetta for 5 more years of Tong, at least 5.5, 6 more years of Tong. I think you think about that for sure. That's the only reason Nick Pivetta is on the table now, is that you can get many years of pitching for 1 year of pitching. I'd talk about it. All right, we'll come back. We can continue the Padres rumor discussions. Michael King's name being floated around in free agent talks, but not with the San Diego Padres. That's all coming up. Hour number 2 of Ben and Woods next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Hopped in the car this morning about 4:45. First name I heard when I flipped on MLB radio was Michael King. Well, that's interesting. They were talking about him on their leadoff spot show with Steve Phillips and Xavier Scruggs, San Diego Xavier Scruggs. And the names that they were talking about, you mentioned it earlier, Baltimore Orioles, New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox all seem to be in the AL East on Michael King. So either a reunion with the Yankees, back to kind of his hometown with the Red Sox. Apparently, when the Padres went to Fenway, he had to leave like 40 tickets for family and friends at Fenway. So a lot of connections there. Or you go with the flavor of the offseason, the team that signed Pete Alonso that looks like they're trying to make a big splash and needs starting pitching, and that would be the Baltimore Orioles. 3 very interesting candidates and landing spots for Michael King potentially this offseason.
You know, the other thing about baseball and free agency that is kind of blowing my mind right now is we're not hearing a lot of movement on guys that I absolutely thought we would. Framber Valdez.
Correct.
Have heard nothing.
Ranger Suarez.
I've heard nothing. Tatsuya Imai. Nothing.
Got to sign soon. I think January 2nd is the deadline.
And I think it's the same for
Mercari.
Monomoto. What?
You want to make sure you get that right.
Is that the third baseman? I thought it was
Murakami.
Motomoto.
Munetaka Murakami. There it is.
What did you say?
Nailed it.
Motomoto?
Moromoto.
Motorola.
Save that, by the way.
Never mind.
Motomoto.
Murakami.
Nothing on him.
Munetaka. Not Moromoto.
You know who else?
Munetaka.
You know who else? Luis Ariz. Not a word.
No.
Not
I'm not,
one-
that's the one I'm not surprised by.
One word.
I almost can
Yeah,
guarantee
hang on,
that
hang
Luis
on.
Ariz is one of those spring training signings.
Josh Bell is off the board,
Yeah.
but Luis Ariz is out there.
Yeah.
Too much money. He wants too much money.
Of course. He's a 3-time batting champion. His agent's got to try to sell him as a 3-time batting champion.
I know who he should hire as his agent, to be honest. He runs the infield for Baltimore Orioles farm system.
Huh.
Yeah, the starting pitching market, unlike the relief market, has been pretty quiet so far this offseason. Dylan Cease has been the major name that is gone. And I think everybody like Framber Valdez, they want Dylan Cease money. And they're not finding the market for it. Dylan Cease had the peripherals that kind of excited everybody, the durability that made him worth a gamble, that the Toronto Blue Jays, a team that had just come this close to winning the World Series, and when I say this close, literally this close to winning a World Series, you know, they were willing to make that move early. But everybody else has been afraid of spending a ton of money on starting pitching far this offseason.
And then the Diamondbacks go out and they drop $40 million on 37-year-old Merrill Kelly to bring him back, which I found, again, to be an odd move. But knowing that it's not my money, and if I'm a Diamondbacks fan, I'm like, fine, at least we have somebody in the rotation. Here we are over here, you know, hey, should we trade our ace and our all-world closer for a rookie named Jonah Tong? Like, I just, it's something. You know, they're doing something in our division. Teams are doing things in our division where we really haven't been able to make anything materialize yet.
I think one of the things that is concerning Padres fans is how do you replace guys like Dylan Cease, Michael King, if he does leave? Obviously, Yu Darvish is not going to pitch this year. Ryan Bergert, Stephen Kolek, even Nestor Cortez. Those are the 6 starting pitchers who are all gone in one way, shape, or form for next season. So you're going to have to replace them. Now, I went through the numbers this weekend, and you take the starting pitching that left. It's a lot of innings that you have to replace. But last year, they weren't all that great. In the aggregate, 24 and 28 with about a 4.2 ERA between all of those guys together.
Okay.
You didn't get great starting pitching last year from those guys that you're losing. Now, certainly Michael King could do better this year. Certainly Dylan Cease could do better this year. But what you need to replace, and you got to 90 wins last year, and that was without Ramon Laureano in your lineup at the beginning of the year. That was without Freddie Fermin in your lineup for most of the year. So your offense should be better. What you need to replace is 24 and 28 with a 4.2 ERA. Joe Musgrove is the first part of that.
How many innings we talking though?
We're talking a lot of innings. I mean, that's, 60 to 80 starts of the year. You need to replace almost half of the starts you made this year.
And this is just all to get back to like
90.
in theory, it's a 90
In theory.
wins.
It doesn't work that way.
I know it
but-
doesn't work that way, but I mean, in theory, shouldn't we be raising the bar a little bit even?
Yeah, in my opinion.
I don't know
yes.
that 90 wins was good enough. I mean, you got to at least, if you're not going to win the division, which let's be honest, going to be a long shot again.
Yep.
You have to get a home playoff series. You have to host the wild card round or
Yes,
something.
you have to.
90's not enough.
Yeah. You
And
gotta
just
shoot
getting
higher.
into the dance is not enough, as we clearly saw last year. Anybody happy with those results?
Yeah,
No,
well, they,
but I
made,
was-
they
I
made
w-
it to the NLCS in 2022. They didn't host the wild card series. They had to play on the road. I mean, you just have to get to the playoffs.
Get to the
That-
playoffs
you
is a baseline.
You have to get to the playoffs. That's your baseline, I think, every year, especially in your window of
400
contention.
innings, Simon Dean says. About 400 innings.
I don't think it's quite that many, but it's a lot. It's pretty much half
Well,
your innings.
It's
last
easy
year.
to tally up.
Yeah.
We could do that at the break.
I can do it at the break. I didn't do the innings. I did the wins, losses, and ERA for the last season for the guys that are gone. Now, they're losing some mediocre pitchers as well. Like, no one's sad that Nestor Cortez is not back. That's not hard to replace. Stephen Kolek went 4-5 with a 4.18. Yu Darvish went 5-5 with a 5.38. Dylan Cease went 8-12 with a 4.55. I mean, Michael King was 5-3, didn't pitch 15 starts. That's all 73 innings, 3.44. Berger actually was the best one. He was 1-0 with a 2.78. But those are the guys you have to somehow find a way to replace this offseason. And in aggregate, 24-28, about a 4.2 ERA. A very middling level pitcher. You need middling level pitching to get back to that level. I'm not saying you can't try to exceed that with who you acquire, who you sign, where you're going. I'd like to think that they can find better than that. But your bar is not, we're not setting the bar incredibly high in what they need to replace starting pitching, because they just didn't get great starting pitching from those guys last year.
Yeah.
The bullpen carried the heavy lifting for the San Diego Padres pitching staff last year, almost all year long. It was about the bullpen, not the starting pitching, other than Nick Pivetta, who was fantastic. But if you keep him, you've got Nick Pivetta back at hopefully somewhere near similar levels to last year.
Is it fair to expect natural regression from the bullpen unit as a whole? Especially
Probably.
without Suarez
And Pivetta.
missing Adam.
Yeah, and Pivetta.
And throw Pivetta into that mix as well.
I would think that that's fair.
But if the bullpen's taking a hit, I think we really need to raise the standard, the expectations in starting pitching.
Well, there's an unknown, with Joe Musgrove as well,
Huge
coming back
unknown.
from injury. So I, obviously want the best for Joe. Expect the best. Joe expects the best of himself as well. But yeah, man, a year not throwing competitively. How's that going to go? You're going to have to give him a little grace, I think, to get started. And you're probably going to have to manage his innings a little bit as he comes back. But this is the age-old debate, man. What do you do? There are guys out there. Can you afford them, or are you willing to pony up for a Ranger Suarez, Ben, who would be fantastic in this rotation, as would Michael King, as would any of the guys that are still out there. Zach Gallen signed yet?
Zach Gallen has not signed, I
Okay.
don't believe.
He's still out there as well.
Yeah.
So I again, shopping at the top of the market it doesn't feel like it's something they're going to do. I do feel like trade is going to bring us the guys in our rotation. What's that look like? No idea. But I mean, you're talking some of those Mets rumors were like, hey man, you want our left fielder, our opening day starter, and our closer for Sproat and Tong? Pass. And Vientos or something? No thanks. I'm good. I'll roll with what we got. We can reassess at the deadline.
That sounds like, hey Mets, you guys want to go to the playoffs?
Yeah, do you
next
guys
year?
wanna go to the playoffs?
We'll give
'Cause
you
we're
your
happy
missing
to help
pieces. You take our spot, and then we'll watch.
That's
like you guys
exactly
did.
right. That's exactly
That's how
right.
that sounds to me.
I'm you know what? And as much as I want them to sign somebody, I've learned as a Padres fan, Ben, if I can ride it out to the deadline and the team can ride it out to the deadline. Now, here's what you also have to take into factor. What are the odds they're going to get off to the kind of start that they got off to this year? That was fantastic and really carried them most of the season.
It did.
And which is great. We've said for years, these games matter. Like it proves the point. Getting off to a hot start can literally propel you to the playoffs, because I don't think if we go 7-7 in those first 14, we're
Yeah.
probably not a playoff team.
Good point.
So I just don't know if you can count on that this year, them getting off to some world beater, scorching hot start.
I mean, in the end, what made the playoffs with the Reds? 83 wins made the play.
Yeah,
We
but
never
look-
thought that was possible.
Look where they play, though.
Yeah.
And look where we play. So, they're gonna have to figure out. It doesn't. I'll be honest. It doesn't. As I sit here today, I'm not like, hell yeah. I see 95, 100 win season. I don't. I didn't last year, and I was pleasantly surprised with 9 more wins than I would give them credit for. My pick going into the season will be 81-81 again. Tell you that right now.
So here are the innings that needs to be replaced this offseason. Dylan Cease, 168. Stephen Kolek, 79.2. Michael King, 73.1. And then you had Yu Darvish, 72. And you had Ryan Bergert, 35. And you had Nestor Cortez, 26. So 72, 35, 26. I got about 450 innings between those guys. That's just piecemeal with all, that's 2.5 guys making a full season of starts, essentially, or close to a full season of starts that you need to replace from last year. Without, again, no one, in the aggregate, it was a fairly mediocre performance, fairly pedestrian, 24-28, 4.2 ERA, 450 innings. It's a lot of innings. You need bodies. You need bodies.
I love that. Let's just get bodies. Maybe the offense will figure it out and carry us.
That's going to be I think that's part of the equation this year. Padres are going to have to get more from the offense. Paul asked the question, is there going to be some regression from the bullpen? Should there be some regression the other way for the offense? That, you're going to get some more slug from your stars. You're going to have Ramon Laureano and Freddie Fermin, hopefully for a full season rather than just the last couple of months of the year. Shouldn't the offense, there's a lot of signs that it should be quite a bit better and more productive than it was last year. How much can you drop off in pitching and still get to where you were, even better than the 90 wins? I think there's definitely a formula there, depending on what A.J. Preller does pitching-wise this offseason. Again, doesn't need to sign 2 aces. Needs to sign 450 innings at a 4.2 ERA. And then if the offense gets better, you can say, all right, that's a 93 to 95 win team if the offense gets better and you replace that pitching that you lost. Is my logic not carry a little bit here?
It carries, but it's also baseball. You have no idea.
Of course.
You have no idea. Just saw a notification pop up from the Padres, so my heart leapt. I got excited.
What happened?
Oh, they retweeted that Iration with special guest Tribal Seeds are going to hit the stage at Gallagher Square on Thursday, June 25th, 2026. Tickets on sale Wednesday, December 17th.
They can get like 70 innings out of Iration this year, right?
How are the guys in Tribal Seeds looking right now? How many innings do you guys have there?
I don't know.
All right.
They could buy some Powerball tickets because the jackpot is now 1.1 billion.
We were going to buy some on
Saturday.
Saturday.
Still, they lost and no one won. So you've got another opportunity coming up. Padres win that. They've got plenty of money to spend this offseason.
You want to see insufferable? Let me win that Powerball. All right. The most insufferable that I've ever been.
All right, let's take a timeout. When we come back, don't do this, including not the, what would you call it? Not the classiest loss for Heisman Trophy runner-up in history.
Wow.
Plus some Phillip Rivers audio that moved Woods, which that's always a good thing to move Woods. Get to that coming up next after a check of traffic with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, trustandwill.com is where Woods and I both, a year ago, right about this week,
yes,
a year ago, we were both going through the process online. I could not believe how simple it was. It took me about, 20 to 30 minutes answering questions online to set up really just a simple will. But the real trick is if you really want to keep your family out of probate court, go for the trust and put all your assets in it so that your family can have instant access to everything when you're gone. And they don't have to wait through that long, expensive process known as probate court.
Get that peace of mind by going to trustandwill.com. Use the code FAN when you check out, FAN. They're going to give you 20% off your trust or will. As Ben just mentioned, probate court, not ideal for your family after you're gone. So make sure that you do that. It's a great time to do it. It's that end of the year. I need to take care of business, get ready for the new year. Great time to go to trustandwill.com.
If you need to name guardians for your kids, which you should do because the state will do so if you haven't done in a document. You don't know who they're going to put them with, but you can decide all at trustandwill.com. Again, use code FAN at checkout. Get 20% off your trust or will at trustandwill.com this holiday season.
Okay, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Well, we were
Don't.
just talking about it. Leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Do.
Set up a trust or will online at trustandwill.com.
This.
Is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. Have to go all the way back to Friday, just after we wrapped up our show. But the update on the Sharon Moore case, and I thought the image of him appearing via Zoom in that little box wherever they were holding him. To think that the week prior he was the head coach at Michigan,
Preparing for the Citrus Bowl.
one of the premier football programs in America, fired, arrested, and then charged, and then in a jumpsuit in a tiny, I don't know, like 4 foot by 6 foot box, looked almost like a coffin.
It was
that
terrible.
he was sitting in. Is such a. I was jarring to see that.
It was. It
I don't know
jarred me.
Sharon
It-
Moore, but that was
It looked like a
jarring.
movie, like out of a movie. Or
Yeah,
something.
it went from, oh my gosh, like coach got fired for having an improper relationship. Oh, can't do that, tisk tisk. Then to, oh, he may have broken into her home and threatened her. Okay, this is getting serious. Okay, now he's charged and now he's in cuffs. It goes from like a ha Michigan man to, oh my God, I hope this guy is okay. I hope she's okay. You know, it's terrible. It's a terrible story. And Michigan came out Friday and said that they have allegedly, this story was on ESPN. They've commissioned an investigation into its athletic department, centering on how numerous scandals have both occurred and been handled in recent years. And, you know, if you're Ward Manuel, like the AD, aren't you just packing your office right now? Like, don't you spend today like, hey, I gotta get my LinkedIn updated. I'm out of here. There's no way that guy gets to
I
continue
guess it depends
his
on
job.
how truly independent. They say they hired an outside law firm to conduct the investigation. If it's truly independent, there can't really be any. Oh, no. They've been running this program perfectly. They're just really unlucky.
Yeah, right.
That's not going to be the finding, right?
I mean, I'm just going. We can only compare with what we have right now. So I'm looking at like what happened with LSU. their coaching. Now that had no like criminal stuff, but they said the school board, the governor, they said, look, you're not picking the next coach to their AD. Now you throw in all the criminal aspect and all the history that's gone on at Michigan, and it's like, how is there any scenario in which Ward Manuel can pick the next head coach? And if you can't pick the next head coach,
Why are you there?
That's the only that's your number one title or job as AD.
Even if you didn't know about Sharon Moore when you promoted him when Jim Harbaugh left, you knew that the program was under massive investigation, that Jim Harbaugh was about to get a show cause penalty, that he would not be coaching anymore if he had stayed. He had to leave for the NFL. Isn't that a great opportunity to just kind of clean house and start over? But they didn't want to do that because of, well, the success they had. They won a national championship, and they were afraid of losing that.
The craziest thing is they're like Michigan grads tweeting, had Sharon Moore beaten Ohio State, this doesn't happen. And I go, oh my God, I can't let my head go to that space, because that's not where you want to be. It's not. That's not right. But I there have been situations like that before. Like, well, how good is he? How good is he? Is he worth, taking some slings and arrows for, and we'll put him in treatment or whatever, and we'll call it a day. Nothing surprises me in college football anymore, though. That's for sure.
Heisman Trophy was announced on Saturday. Of course, it went to Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, the first Hoosier to ever win the Heisman Trophy. And it wasn't
a good kid.
Wasn't a particularly close vote. The second place vote getter was Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia, who was so incredibly honored by the fact that he was voted as Heisman runner-up that he immediately went to Instagram to say, F all the voters. With a thumbs down emoji.
Correct.
Classy.
F all the voters, but family for life is what he said. Also went out to a nightclub that night, which that's fine. Went out and partied a little bit.
Now, he
bought a table. Did you see this?
No.
He bought a table, had a big table and champagne. He's also 25 years old almost. So he's been able to go out to the bars for a long, long time. Bought a champagne. People were dancing around. He had you can get a sign.
Mm-hmm.
If you buy marquee. a little marquee, like what would yours say? Like hot beef or something.
Blame it on the Henry.
Blame it on the Henry. It literally, his said F Indiana.
Hot beef
is what his said. F Indiana.
Classy.
He's taking pictures with it and dancing around. Well, then
ganja, aka cannabis.
That would be elite for a sign. So then the next morning, he wakes up to find that his Instagram hasn't gone great. The perception of him nationally now was, oh man, you were like a interesting underdog story. Like that was kind of cool. You're 5'1" and you're out there slinging it and running around, little Johnny Manziel, the whole thing. And now you wake up, you're probably a little hungover. You're like, oh God, I'm dead. I've soiled myself here. So he tweeted this out. Literally straight from ChatGPT.
I mean, you can.
Ready?
Yeah.
Being a part of the Heisman ceremony last night as a finalist was such an honor. As a competitor, just like in everything I do, I wanted to win. To be so close to my dream and come up short, was painful. I didn't handle those emotions well at all. Didn't represent myself the way I wanted to. I have much love and respect for the Heisman voters, clearly, and the selection process. I apologize for being disrespectful. It was a mistake. I'm sorry. Fernando Mendoza is an elite competitor and deserving winner of the award. I've been doubted my whole life. Every step of my journey, I've had to break down doors and fight for myself because I've learned that nothing would be handed to me. My family's been in my corner, blah, 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 blah. I'm grateful for them. I wouldn't want anything to distract from that. I look forward to competing in front of my family with my team one more time in the ReliaQuest Bowl. I mean, you woke up and saw his draft stock, if there was any, plummeting.
So one of the keys with ChatGPT AI is you get out what you put in.
Yes.
And you need to be very specific in what you're asking for. He clearly asked for an apology for, directed toward Heisman voters after, but you need to also say, but phrase it in, the style of some of my previous Instagram posts, because that doesn't sound like Diego Pavia at all.
No.
At all. I mean, generously read. You could say maybe a PR guy helped him write that. But it doesn't sound like him. It sounds very fake and does not sound very heartfelt or genuine.
Yeah, for sure.
So it doesn't count anymore.
Make it sound more like me. Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the public perception just switches overnight, just like that. It's all it takes. Good lesson for the kids out there. Don't post it on social media. You can tell your buddies, man, F Indiana, F these voters. You can tell your buddies that, sure.
Does he really think he should have won, though? I would think, I think the right guy won the Heisman Trophy.
I don't, but that's
if there
a different
was
story.
my runner-up would have been Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame. He may have been the best individual talent, but his team didn't go undefeated.
Yeah,
and
fair.
that's always going to be.
Can I
but
get
Diego
some of
Padilla's
this-
team didn't either.
Hey,
So
by the way, can I get some of this special treatment that I keep hearing about for Notre Dame?
No.
I'm anytime I'm ready. I'm ready to get some of this special treatment that I've been hearing about forever. Well, now I'll
getting
be
the
here waiting.
You're getting the backlash to the special treatment now.
There was no special treatment.
I know it's
It was actually
in
the-
years
the-
past.
The what? What special treatment?
Well, they made a couple of playoffs.
Sure,
that
they got their
thought they weren't
asses handed
supposed to
to
get
them.
to.
No, but they should have
That was
been
the
there.
special. That was the special treatment.
Making the playoffs is not special treatment. I'm ready for some of this special treatment because I don't feel like I'm getting it. Now, this is interesting. Paulie plays that because Paulie has asked me for Notre Dame tickets for next year, and we're supposed to go as a trip. Now, my dad's already said, "You tell Paulie to watch his P's and Q's because those tickets aren't cheap, right?"
All right,
That was
fi-
directed at you, not Gary.
Yeah.
I would never disrespect Gary like that.
I'm an extension of Gary. Believe you me.
finally, little do this.
DD mega doo doo.
We talked about Phillip Rivers and his performance, the ups and downs. Was it a perfect quarterbacking exhibition? No. Was it incredibly impressive for a 44-year-old who hadn't played in 5 years to come back and give his team a chance to win on the road in a hostile environment against a very good Seattle Seahawks team with an elite defense? Yes, it was. But what touched Woods especially was what Phillip had to say after the game, the message that he delivered on the post-game podium.
I think maybe, maybe it will, I don't know, inspire or teach, to not to run or be scared of what may or may not happen. Hopefully, certainly I think of my sons and those ball players, that I'm in charge of at the school, that they'll say like, crap, coach wasn't scared. You know what I mean? It's like, shoot, sometimes there is doubt and it's real. And again, you can the guaranteed safe bet is to go home or to not go for it. And the other one is shoot, let's see what happens. And so I hope that in that sense that it can be a positive to some young boys, or young people. It doesn't have to be boys, but
Walking the walk as a coach is fantastic to me. I thought that was so
dad.
good. So good.
And the
And a dad,
video
yeah.
of the kids from St. Michael Catholic all gathered
I
in
saw
whatever
that.
that rec room or whatever they were
At a
Watching
restaurant
the-
or something.
watching the game in and cheering when he threw the touchdown pass, just losing their minds was pretty cool as
All
well.
broccoli heads, by the way. Did you see that? Every one of those kids that was like, yeah! All I saw was little stalks of broccoli jumping around in watching that game. It was so good. It was really good, man. Loved it.
And that is don't and do this for a Monday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
When we come back, we can talk a little bit more about the football weekend, including major injuries left and right, including Patrick Mahomes, not only done for the season, but next season coming into question after what happened yesterday with the Kansas City Chiefs, who are out. Plus, yeah, a lot of sad news nationally and internationally over the weekend, including a beloved filmmaker. You saw the headlines yesterday. We'll get into all of that coming up next with Ben Woods on 97.3 The Fan. First, though, talk about daily fantasy. I was playing this weekend, setting my lineups with Prize Picks. Did some pro football on Sunday. Did a little basketball as well when watching the playoff, the tournament games over the weekend. It's very easy to do with Prize Picks. You're just picking against stat numbers, picking more or less on statistical projections from some of your favorite players. They have all the stars in every sport, whether you're watching Luka Doncic or LeBron in basketball, or if you're watching Josh Allen in football, you can just pick against the numbers, touchdown passes, rushing yards, rebounds, points and rebounds and assists. More or less, the more you put together, the more you can win. In fact, if you put together a 6-player lineup and you really go big, you can win up to 2,000 times your money with Prize Picks, or go a little smaller, 2 or 3 player lineups, or go with the flex plays where you can set a 4 or 5 player lineup. You don't even need to win every single one of them for a winning lineup with Prize Picks. When you download the app, make sure you use the code KWFN. You're going to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup with Prize Picks. Over the holidays, watching all the football bowl games, plenty of chances to get started with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Don't forget, listen at 9 a.m. We'll announce another name in our biggest fan contest. You still have the chance this week to qualify for our grand prize night in an Odyssey suite at a Padres game this upcoming season with all the fan staff, catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. Just register your name at 97.3 The Fan, sd.com/biggest fan in order to potentially have your name called 9 a.m., 1 p.m., 5:30 p.m. Although I don't know when they do it, a little bit earlier when there's Monday Night Football, because we do have Monday Night Football tonight. Which is Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami Dolphins, I believe, which is an important game. Steelers are trying to stay ahead of the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North race when they're battling for first place there. Do have some breaking news. Obviously, the real world intruding, unfortunately, this weekend with just so many horrific tragedies. This just in from ABC News. Nick Reiner, 32 years old, son of director Rob Reiner, has been taken into custody on unspecified charges, being held on $4 million bail, according to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. This after the famous director and his wife were found dead in their Brentwood mansion yesterday. And now apparently their son, Nick Reiner, has been charged with the crime. Which is shocking and horrible and just
unfathomable.
Unbelievable.
Unfathomable. They were talking about Rob Reiner's career. Of course, I think Benny and I, we will remember him, first seeing him on All in the Family, which was such a staple in pretty much every home back in the, early 80s, late 70s. Carol O'Connor and Meathead. Meathead. And for him to go on to have the generational run that he had as a director was pretty astounding. He put together a resume of some of the best films of our lifetime.
It's hard to pick your favorite one. I would imagine. Let me guess.
Mine?
Spinal Tap.
Oh yeah,
Spinal Tap.
Not close.
Yeah,
That's what
I
it's
thought
close.
for you.
A Few Good Men is up there.
That is
Stand
definitely.
By Me is up there.
Stand By Me is amazing. When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, elite movie.
That's mine.
That's yours.
Yeah.
I you know me, I'm a little different.
Princess Bride.
The American President.
Oh,
I really
Michael Douglas.
Because I was a politics major and I always studied that, and I really enjoyed that. It was like West Wing before the West Wing.
Yeah.
It was really enjoyable. But all my friends in school were obsessed with the Princess Bride because I was a nerd, and nerds love the Princess Bride. So that was constantly,
You never saw
I couldn't get through it.
People would play that, and you go
I know,
to
I
someone's house. Oh, let's watch the Princess Bride.
Probably it's
Probably why I don't like it as much, because I was forced to watch it too many times.
Just you and your friends getting together watching the Princess Bride on the weekends.
That makes me
No,
sad.
the American
youth makes
President,
me
I think,
sad.
is my favorite one.
Spinal Tap for me was really the end all be all of films, and in the weirdest coincidence, I put the kids down Friday night.
I was wondering if you
And put the kids down Friday night, and I'm doing my thing where I'm scrolling through. I'm hoarding Pluribus now. I'm hoarding them, so I've got like 1.5 to watch. So I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna get through the break. But I'm scrolling through and I see on HBO Max Spinal Tap 2, the return, essentially, the sequel. And we had done a Roundel Report story on it, and it's called Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. And I go, all right, I'm going to watch this. And who opens the movie but Rob Reiner, because he was the guy that opened the movie the first time. And I made it through about 75% of it before I fell asleep, but that's not because of the movie. That's because of me. And I liked it. I did. It was so nice to see those characters back. There was a comfort to it. Weird seeing them so old now, but the cameos in it, spectacular. Paul McCartney was in it. Elton John is in it. I mean, these guys just kept rolling through. Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers and Lars from Metallica, all auditioning, wanting to audition to be the drummer of Spinal Tap. And Rob Reiner, the kind of glue that holds it together, is the mockumentarian in it. And I watched it on Friday and was like, man, made me feel good to have those guys back in my life. So it was a really sad story.
Tessa says, just saw him in The Bear. Yeah, he played in the final season.
Yeah.
Albert Schnurr, the consultant that was helping expand the beef part of the sandwich part of the restaurant, and one of the side stories that they were doing on the last season
Wolf
of The Bear.
of Wall Street as Jordan Belfort's father. He was phenomenal in it. So.
And KG says he was so good.
Who
and
has
all,
the gall to
all in the
call
family.
this house at 7:00 on a Tuesday?
There's an argument to be made that All in the Family, again, as you said, he was Meathead.
Yeah.
with Carol O'Connor's, playing the patriarch of the family. Maybe the most important television show that was ever created.
Potentially, yeah.
In sitcom television, one that was funny but also
Pushed the
had a
edges,
message
man.
and really,
pushed the envelope
on that show.
certainly.
And
But
he
yeah.
won a couple of Emmys, I believe, as a supporting actor. So multi-talented actor, director, just a very impactful life. And Paulie, if you would, in the Ben and Woods fashion and tradition.
And I really hope we can see more unity and more peace when already things are so difficult. So, shout out to his family.
Stephen, good.
I was just saying that was some of the reporting yesterday, which unfortunately a lot of the initial reports looks like going to be true. It kind of messed me up yesterday.
Yeah, it's
It
jarring.
was tough to sit with that one
It is.
and just think about how awful of a scenario this was.
The story I read too, Stephen King notoriously would allow his movies to be made into screenplays. He never liked any of them. He was really tough to please. Shining, was not a fan. Didn't like, Kubrick's adaptation of The Shining at all. Didn't like Christine, didn't like Cujo, didn't like really any of these. And he put his name on it because he knew that they needed to get made. But Reiner said showed him Stand By Me. And he said he got up and walked out of the room. And he was like, oh, God.
He was like visibly yeah.
like something. There was some emotion. He got up and walked out of the room, went out, composed himself, and came back and was like, that's the best adaptation of any of my stories that have ever been. And so
then he let him make another one, which was pretty good, which was Misery.
Yeah. Reiner did that
was
too.
Reiner too. Yeah.
What a run he got on.
Yeah.
Like what, mid 80s to early mid 90s.
Few Good Men.
Yeah.
It was like boom, Stand By Me, boom, boom, boom,
and
boom.
I kept
boom.
reading about people talking about to have elite movies across 5 or 6 different genres.
Yeah, different genres
is also incredibly telling of how good he was.
Yeah,
comedy,
Rom-coms,
horror,
mockumentary,
yeah, really,
courtroom,
just about everything he did. So
it's one of the saddest stories I've ever heard, man. His son, they've got him in custody. It's the worst. I mean, it's
the daughter
finding them.
them.
It's unfathomable.
I mean, Billy Crystal and Larry David were spotted at the house.
Yeah.
Yes, last night, and obviously extremely shaken up. I think about Billy Crystal, just lost his home in the fires last year. He's had several people very close to him pass away.
Yeah, life is pain, man. I think you read stories like that and you're like, it doesn't make sense in my head how something like that happens.
It's right. The house is right in where my grandmother used to live.
Really?
In that neighborhood. We used to walk by Rob Reiner's house all the time. He had the little lighthouse.
Crazy.
It was that little mailbox was the lighthouse from
I had no idea.
from the movie company there. Yeah.
I didn't spend a lot of time in Brooklyn.
I know. All right, let's check traffic. As I mentioned, it was a brutal weekend for injuries in the NFL. Just brutal. We'll get to some of that coming up next here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury.
This report is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Jam-packed northbound on the 8, getting reports of a crash at the 805, and northbound 805 hitting those brakes from the 54 all the way up to the 8. This is clearing an accident on the 5 northbound at J Street, and another wreck still being cleared southbound on the 15 at the 78. Whether you're dashing through San Diego or heading out of town, make sure your car's in the game. Friendly techs at Valvoline Instant Oil Change will check your lights, wipers, tire pressure, battery, and more with every oil change. Grab holiday savings now at SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Sue Aller with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All guests on Ben and Woods appear on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Greg Elston will join us right there on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline at 8:35. The two biggest injuries yesterday. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is actually the biggest. It's certainly the biggest name, but they were going to miss the playoffs no matter what. They were a long shot to make it.
Even if they won that game?
Even if they won that game.
It was going to be a long shot.
It was going to be a long shot. They were fully eliminated with 3 games to go by losing to the Chargers yesterday, 16-13. And then right at the end in the fourth quarter, Patrick Mahomes suffered an ACL tear. What's big about that is with a 6 to 12 month recovery, don't know whether he'll be ready for next season or not. He could be ready. He could miss the entire year, essentially, which is, of course, devastating for the Kansas City Chiefs. So going forward, that one's huge. But the one that will impact this season more is Micah Parsons getting hurt in that game with the Green Bay Packers, who were a Super Bowl contender in the NFC, losing to the Broncos 34-26, and Micah Parsons also believed to have suffered the same torn ACL that will end his season. And all those people who didn't believe in the Denver Broncos, and I am one of them.
I'm one of them too.
They did it again. They won their 11th in a row. Bo Nix throws 4 touchdown passes. They clinch a playoff spot, and they beat a real opponent this time, a good team in the Green Bay Packers, and remain 2 games ahead of the Chargers in the AFC West. They just continue to silence the critics.
I watch them. I'm like, Bo Nix is fine, but like, I don't know. I don't feel like this team's going to do much.
You keep thinking that, and you
and
think,
all they do is win.
And I thought the Patriots were more of the real out of nowhere story, but they lost to the Bills, and the Broncos just keep getting it done. They're almost certainly going to be the number 1 seed. They've got the tiebreaker on the Patriots now, a game lead, so they win 2 of their last 3. They clinched the number 1 seed, the bye in the first round in the AFC, which means the road to the Super Bowl goes through the altitude of Denver and the home field advantage at Mile High. I mean, they've got to be considered now as a legitimate, serious Super Bowl contender.
It's insane to wrap your head around. Nobody picked that, right?
Nobody. Most people picked Sean Payton to get fired halfway through the season this year.
It's not.
This is one of the more shocking stories in football. Still think the best team, though, is probably somewhere in the NFC. The LA Rams have their case after they took care of the Detroit Lions 41-34. And while everyone's going to point to the Matthew Stafford versus Jared Goff, that was more of a cancel each other out. It was the way the Rams, for me, contained Jahmyr Gibbs to just 58 total yards was probably the difference in that game. As they get to 11-3, the Seahawks get to 11-3 with their win over the Colts, and now with the Packers taking a step back with the injury, I don't know. Seahawks and Rams both look like this game on Thursday could be incredibly important for the number 1 seed, probably to become the Super Bowl favorite going forward, whoever wins this game this week.
All right.
Eagles bounce back. 31-0 was just the Raiders.
I watched some of that game.
With Dallas losing, they only need 1 more win or 1 Dallas loss. They're going to cruise into the playoffs. Yep. They can get healthy. They can rest guys down the stretch. They're pretty much locked into the 3 seed. They can't really catch anyone. They're not going to fall any worse. So that's a huge advantage for the Eagles going forward. They can coach this next month, get guys healthy, and say, you know what, we had a pretty poor regular season by Philadelphia Eagles standards, but no one cares. If we come out in the playoffs and do what we're capable of, if Jalen Hurts, can get it locked in for the postseason, I would think they're a contender to win another Super Bowl title.
It sure is wild looking at the standings and seeing the E next to teams' names. Teams you'd expect. The Cardinals, the Saints, the Falcons. The Vikings is a bit of a surprise.
They won last night, but they just didn't have a good year.
The Giants, the Commanders, the Raiders, the Titans, the Browns, the Bengals, the Jets, the usual suspects. Seeing that E
by the Chiefs,
next to that Chiefs name is very, very odd. It's very odd to see. What did they say? First Super Bowl that hasn't featured Manning, Brady, or Mahomes in an ungodly amount of years. Like, it's just a crazy amount of years. So done for the season.
Really disappointing week for the Bucs and the Panthers. The Bucs, of course, lose to the Falcons on Thursday night, and then the Panthers lose to the Saints. That was my pick, so I got that one wrong.
I had the Cowboys beating the Vikings. I lost as well.
Charlie Smith, the field goal kicker from Ireland, kicks the 46-yarder in the final seconds to win it for the Saints after a terrible 15-yard personal foul penalty on a slide. I don't know that they were going to get another playoff, but that extended the game and allowed the Saints to beat the Panthers in regulation. So both those teams are 7-7. The Bucs, who wants that division? 7-7 for the Bucs, 7-7 for the Panthers. The Ravens are 7-7, and the Steelers are 7-6, and playing a hot Miami team tonight. You could have 2 divisions that are tied at 500.
God, Miami's won 4 in a row.
I know. You could have 2 divisions after tonight that are tied at 500 at the top of the division. You got 2 really bad divisions, and then everybody else is like really good right now, which makes it hard for a team like the Colts to even think that they could get to the playoffs at this point.
I guess that's that parity that they talk about.
in those divisions for sure.
Those divisions,
yeah. Bears continue to roll. Again, just the Browns, but 10-4 now. One of the coldest games ever at Soldier Field was won yesterday. And the 49ers, with Brock Purdy back, they've quietly improved to 10-4.
I was going to say very quietly.
Have been playing actually well. Now it was just the Titans, but it was an interesting day. But those injuries, especially the Micah Parsons one, seems like it's going to be a big one going forward for the Packers.
Wesley wants to know, can you guys give us some Christmas hope for the Padres season? No.
I thought I did in our first 2 hours. Anyone listening to my Christmas hope?
Wesley, go back and listen to Ben's Christmas hope.
All right, we'll come back. Craig Elston take on Woods and more coming up next on The Fan.
right, we're halfway home on a Monday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Ben and Woods Senior Week, as it were, like the last week of school. We're here. Pretty motivated.
Do we have
I'd
to take
say.
any final exams, or are they already done?
We do. We have a final exam on Thursday and Friday. Thursday will be our year in review show. But again, we don't just plug and play and walk out the door. We're going to be here talking through it, some of our favorite moments of the year, and going through some of them. I forget what we did on Friday. So to go back through them and listen and remember some of the moments we've had is great. I love, the urine review, as Wyatt says. It's our Ben and Woods urine review.
Number one.
You're looking for a pale straw color.
That's right. We don't really have a name for this, do we? Like the rewind.
It's been
or...
something different every year,
Yeah,
honestly.
Sounds about right.
Ben and Woods do a show, and we play clips from other shows from earlier in the year.
It doesn't have that ring to it.
We've done Ben and Woods look backs. We've done year in review. Last year was Ben and Woods wrapped.
I like urine review. Ben and Woods urine review. From that will be on Thursday. It'll be a fun show, man. Be ready to laugh a lot.
If you're not in your car, maybe you don't have to work that day. You could just stream the show.
Stream the show.
Get it? I get it.
If you have
that was
good-
good. That was good. I got that one. That was good.
I don't like to get up in the middle of the night and stream the show, which has been happening to me a lot
Happens
lately.
more the older you get.
It's true. It's true. But, I'm Woodsy. That's Paul. That's Ben.
Don't you hate, because this happens to me, 3 a.m. And
Yeah.
you get up and you sort of have to go. But you think,
Well, you can't. Once you
if
think
I
you
can-
have to go, you have
if
to
I
get up
can
and
go back to sleep, I'll probably make it until my actual wake up time in an hour and 20 minutes. But do I want to get up now? If I get up, am I going to be able to go right back to sleep, or am I going to then just be awake? And then you kind of think about it, and then you spin yourself out about it.
Well, especially because we got to get up early. So
Right.
you get up at 3 and you're like, I might as well just get up.
Might as well just get up.
Yeah.
But-
The urine review. I like this.
But
I
you're
like
laying there and you're thinking, I really have to go, but I don't want to get up. It's warm and it's cozy, and I don't want to get up.
this. Best of Hog Higgins and Gramps Woods. That means, but there's no bad ideas in brainstorming unless they're Ben's.
Will you sign my yearbook at least at the end of the week?
I will. I'll see you around the pool, maybe. I wanted to ask you
Great
guys.
year. Don't ever change.
Yeah. Hey, keep up the good work in 26. I wanted to ask you guys, because I don't know if I think we do this every year, and I figured I'd just do it now. Resolutions for 26. Personal, business.
I've been thinking about that lately.
Sure.
And if anything slipped a little bit, I've kept my weight off, as you know.
Yeah.
But my eating habits are slipping a little bit.
Are they?
I haven't been as good at like preparing my meals and
End of the
everything.
year
You just
type
get so
stuff?
busy, and it's like I need to really get back to, the good meal prep that was serving me so well for so long. It's too much, grab a sandwich on the go nowadays lately. I try not to eat too much so I can keep the weight off, but I know I could eat healthier.
I'd say out of all the years I've ever made resolutions, I'd say 2025 is the year I stuck to them the most,
Good.
which is rare for me. Very, very rare.
You resolve to what? Treat yourself very well, extravagantly, to
Correct. Many
and-
trips across the world.
And you kept those resolutions.
I did.
2025.
No, I had
Good for
goals.
you.
I had goals. I wanted to get back in the gym. I did
You
that
did.
this
Yep,
year
you did.
with a vengeance. I wanted to bench press 225. I did it. Like setting the goals, hitting some of the goals felt really good, which is not something I've done a lot of. So now that I know I can do it, it makes me want to do more of it. Paulie, what about you? Any resolutions in 26?
I've never been a big New Year's resolution guy.
All right.
Honestly, I just
Goals?
it's too much like forced. It could be something as simple as like I'd like to read more. I'm gonna read every night. It lasts a week and then I stop.
And then you're out.
You should
in
resolve to
general-
have more weekends where you just kind of hang out and
Do
do
nothing,
nothing.
yeah.
That's my
That's it.
like in general, it's just like you should always want to be doing better and always trying to be doing better. You shouldn't need I'm gonna wait till January 1st.
I agree. There's no magic about January 1st.
No.
You can do a resolution on May 3rd or August 15th.
Sure.
Whenever you feel like you want to change your life, don't wait until January 1st
But I
to
don't-
change your life.
I don't like going into a new year and without any goals in mind. Like it feels odd to me. I have routines. You guys know you'll be getting the email soon. Every year, you guys get the motivational email from me at like 2:00 in the morning when we're on vacation.
It'll be like, like December 29th.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
You may get it before Christmas this year. Wow. Yeah, it may happen. I can feel it bubbling inside of me. So
we're off Friday. We're done for the year. Christmas isn't until Thursday.
Oh yeah, you'll be definitely getting it before Christmas. Definitely.
We're not ending on like the 23rd, and then it's like
Right.
family and stuff the next day. It's like now we're gonna have a few days next week to just kind of soak it in and enjoy the time off.
No, so that's one that I always do. I always do the clean out the closet, clean out the email.
I thought you turned down the clean out invitation.
So my wife sent me an invitation. I said the closet, not the garage.
All right.
New Year's, she sent me on, which I don't know if your wives do this or not, but mine definitely is a big fan of the calendar invite. And
no, this is not
we don't invite,
usual.
We
in
go
our
over
family.
calendars. Like we'll go over kind of
every Sunday
over the
night.
week.
Like, what's the week look like? What are you doing here? Where do we?
I might say something. Megan might add it to her calendar, but I've never like.
I don't
actually.
Her. I don't send or receive any calendar invites. I was surprised when I saw this.
This has happened since the day I met her. Honestly, like she would send me a calendar invite like 2 weeks after I met her. Phone call tonight. I'd be like, all right, psycho, sure. So I'd hit yes. So this is how she operates. So I get this thing for New Year's Eve, family garage clean out. And I go, what? All right. I mean, I will do it. I'll do it. I have no problem doing it. But I just thought to be funny, I just declined it to see what she would say.
How'd that go?
I tweeted originally. I said, man, New Year's Eve sucks now. Like, because I'm going to be cleaning out my garage with my family. I'd prefer, actually, if they weren't around, I could just do it by myself. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I could get a lot more
Sometimes
done.
it can be harder to do, like, figure out the dynamics of the full family clean out.
Yeah.
And you can just do it yourself.
Just do it. I'd rather just
Now,
do it myself.
my question is, do you ever send her any
Never.
calendar invites for things that you may want
Never.
to do?
Never.
Like
Never
9
once.
p.m.
All right,
calendar
it
invite?
is 6 o'clock in the morning.
Send her a Google invite for that.
Yeah.
I mean, she would laugh in my face.
She
if I
just
tried to-
decline it?
Yeah, we schedule a lot. We don't schedule that.
You don't schedule that.
That even feels creepy to me.
Pick a date like deep into the future so she has time to wrap her mind around it.
Send her one right now for like
February, 13th, right around Valentine's Day.
Pass. Pass.
How about Thursday, January 22nd. Throw it on the calendar now.
No, because I may not want to. I don't want to get backed in a corner here. As soon as you make me schedule it is when I go, never mind. I'm fine. I'm good. I can live without it. Right? Once you schedule it, it's not sexy. It's not sexy at all to schedule lovemaking at all. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
So she sends me this. I decline it. And she was at lunch with her friend. She goes, this mother effer. Look at him. Look what he did. So then I put it on Twitter. I said, now we wait. So she did notice. I will be out there cleaning up the garage, though. You know that. But I do the clean out of the closet, the clean out of the kitchen, or the clean out of the bathroom, get rid of stuff, organize a little bit. I look forward to that stuff. Clean out all the drawers, get rid of some clothes, things like that. I really like the purge at the end of the year.
No, that's good.
So
it's definitely good to at least once or twice a year clean things out.
But mine is
and if you want to make it around the New Year's, that's fine.
My goal is more fiscally responsible in 26.
Good for you.
Fiscally responsible Woods, which is going to be a weird one. So no more willy-nilly, guys. All the gravy train's over for both of you. So when we go out to lunch and stuff now, it's going to be, no, we're splitting our way.
You always should have done that.
I never did,
honestly.
though. I don't like being this way, but I'm going to have to do it.
You should always, your first answer should be no. And then if you talk yourself into it, there's room for yes. You leave yourself some room for yes, but don't start with yes. Make sure that, it makes sense to you before you spend it.
I like being a generous person. And now I feel like with the new fiscally responsible me, I'm not going to be able to be as generous as I was.
Well, you know that I will take over in the generosity department for you.
All Ben and I need to do is just ask you like 3 or 4 times. Eventually you'll cave.
Eventually I will cave. That's true.
We learn that about ourselves. We can say no once or twice, but if you ask us 3 times for something, we will cave.
I'm very, very
We're like Will Ferrell and Austin Powers. Remember, he's like, I can't stand to be asked the same question 3 times in a row.
Yeah, like question is moot says, I heard Woods was picking up the tab for all food and beer in Chicago at Schmigley Field. No, but I would have bought a round of beers for everyone. Guess
But now
what?
you won't.
Not anymore. Not
Because you got
anymore.
to stick to your New Year's resolutions.
That's right. Got to be fiscally responsible. No more living so high on the hog. Got to really tighten the belt. Really sucks.
No free tacos on Mexico City's vacation or
Tier ones that meet you in
Padres
Mexico
games.
City.
No tacos.
No
The
tacos.
fourth inning tacos.
Nope, nothing. Handshake and a hug. That's about all you get this year.
I do want to do a quick tier one.
So no resolutions for you guys.
No.
0. All right.
Eating a little bit better. That's my first one.
Again, that's another thing. You should always be doing that. You don't need to wait until January 1st.
I always resolved to be better about buying my Christmas presents after I fail, but I've once again failed on that resolution already because I'll come down to the last weekend again and still need to do a ton of shopping. I did a little online this week, but I still have a lot to do.
All right.
Very hard for me. I want to shout out to Maria, Tier 1 Maria, and her dad. She just posted on our YouTube chat that he's got surgery on Wednesday for a regressive cancer on his head. Won't be in the chat for the rest of the week as I'm taking care of him. Maria, we wanted to wish you and your dad the very best here this holiday season.
Yeah, best wishes.
Prayers from all of the Tier 1s out to you and the hosts.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's take a time out. When we come back, we need a contestant for Take on Woods, first game of the week. We still have the opportunity to qualify for the getaway to Las Vegas, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. And by the way, our friend Eno Saris just dropped the piece that he hinted at when he joined us last week from the winter meetings about the big changes coming to minor league baseball that will impact the Padres and every team coming up next season. We'll get to all of that coming up next with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Here's a resolution for the rest of you out there. If you haven't been to 7 Mile Casino yet, make 2026 the year to do it. In fact, don't wait for 2026. Do it before 2025 is over. You're going to find San Diego's closest, best, most upscale card room sitting there right off the 5 freeway in Chula Vista.
Yeah, and if you like, just a cool place to go too. I mean, if you just want to go grab lunch or a beer with a buddy, it's an awesome place for that, certainly. But love the California style blackjack, love the Texas Hold'em, the Pai Gow, the Baccarat is there as well. Smoke-free environment, no slot machines either. So just go have a good time. That's what it's there for.
Absolutely. The food, amazing at Sammy's. The patio is gorgeous. The view is tremendous. But really, if you're going to go play cards, why would you drive 45 minutes or more and then back when you can go to the best card room that is just off the 5 freeway in Chula Vista, so close? It's 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Put a little take on Woods here in a moment. It may have been lost in the conversation with Eno Sarris last week. You may remember when Eno joined us, he was not feeling particularly sharp.
Oh, was he under the weather?
No, he was
cocktail flu.
He was dealing with the massive hangover, or perhaps still the effects of the night before when he joined us. And but he did drop some actually big news that got overlooked, I believe, a bit during that interview last week, and that was the major changes, and he wrote about them this morning in The Athletic, coming to minor league baseball this year. And these were changes that were just dropped on the general managers, apparently at the GM meetings last month when they got together. And that is a standardization of the technology and data available to minor league clubs across baseball.
Yep.
To make sure that every minor league park has the exact same technology and systems as every other park. Now, you can do with the data what you want. Have your own analytics teams analyze it and try to maximize, your player performance. But the teams that are spending way more on their technology, and you can imagine who those teams are.
Yes.
Dodgers being one of them. They're going to be brought kind of back to heel. And other teams, think like the Rockies and the Pirates, who are spending very little on their expensive technology and biometrics and everything, they're going to be lifted up by this standardization across Major League Baseball. It's a way to try to cut costs and create a little more parity among the league in a quiet way that doesn't involve dealing with the union, because these aren't Major League Baseball players that are represented by the Major League Union. This is all in the minor leagues. And wrote about it this morning in The Athletic, that this is actually going to have a fairly large impact, maybe not immediately, but going forward in kind of evening out the minor league systems of a lot of different teams.
So there's a standard number. Everyone has to meet it.
Every Major League Baseball will have to approve the technology and data available at every minor league park.
So what about the guys that have already spent, the Dodgers that have already spent
They
a
may-
gazillion dollars?
they may
They're gonna
have
come
to
in and start unplugging machines.
Machines is what basically wrote today.
Taking
Said,
this Rapsodo with us.
Yes.
Wow.
Take it to some other ballpark that doesn't have it.
Pirates are like, we got the Dodgers Rapsodo machine. This is amazing. What in the like a big garage sale? Wow.
It's interesting.
I don't know how I feel
Obviously,
about it.
there are certain technology companies that are going to be big winners and others that'll be big losers.
Yeah.
If you get the major league contract,
Yeah.
that's huge. That's going to be all 30 teams, which is multiple minor league
leagues,
ballparks in each system. If you don't get the contract, you may be out in the cold because you're not approved by Major League Baseball for your technology and your data.
And it's just on the minor league
This
level
is just on the minor league level.
for now.
Because on the major league level, everything has to be negotiated with the players' union, I believe. So, which could come up in the discussions over the next year.
But there's different. I mean, the facilities for the Dodgers are different than the ones for
especially in the minor leagues,
Right.
for sure.
Interesting.
So that just came out today.
It's kind of a
from
bummer
Eno
because
Sarris.
it does wrist slap teams that have been ahead of the curve, which is kind of like.
And I don't know exactly where the Padres stand in relation to the curve.
Yeah.
I've heard good, I've heard bad.
My
I've heard
sense
whatever.
is in some areas they're kind of more near cutting edge, near the top. In others, they may lag a little more behind, which probably puts them more kind of in the middle.
They're
which-
always in the middle.
Yeah.
Every ranking you see about everything is right 13, 14.
Yeah, which probably means they'll be impacted less than other teams, and that they'll probably, that standard will probably be where the Padres are at right now. But anything that maybe diminishes the Dodgers' advantage over everybody could be beneficial to the San Diego Padres in that way. But we'll see. It's going to be a long time
Feels
before
like
you really see the effects of that taking place.
Also feels like a really easy system to game, if I'm being completely honest.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have a Gestapo there at every facility, just sitting there like
the data police.
Yeah, the data police.
I'm sure no team would ever try to cut corners.
Or not cut corners. They would. No team would ever look for that little edge, technology wise.
No chance.
I'd sign up to be the data monitor. Just sit there and sleep in a chair all day. Don't worry, I'm not going to say
Six-figure
anything.
salary.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. Don't worry about it. Keep doing what you're doing.
Maybe they can give it to the same guys who collect the urine samples from minor leaguers for drug testing. Oh, you
Exactly.
also have to check their data while you're there
Data
at the
entry.
same time.
Cool.
All right, we got a contestant on the line. Looks like we do. Let's play a little Take on Woods. Take on Woods brought to you by Bay Alarm, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you, and I believe we got Troy. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Troy, are you going to play some Take on Woods with us right now?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. 5
Troy.
questions of musical trivia. If you beat or tie Woods, put you into the drawing for our grand prize, this month's prize, a trip for 2 to Las Vegas to see New Kids on the Block on June 26th, the 2-night stay at the Park MGM, and a $100 gas card. Get your own tickets for the New Kids on the Block residency at Ticketmaster.com. Woods is gone, which means you get to choose the category. Keep him in the dark. Your choices, Troy, are The Long Goodbye, 5 song titles that include the word goodbye. Legends of the Fall, 5 songs that include the word fall in the title. And our new category, The End of Time, 5 2-second songs that end with the word time. So The Long Goodbye, Legends of the Fall, or The End of Time. Troy, what would you like to play?
Let's do The Long Goodbye.
The Long Goodbye. All right, today on Take on Woods, we have 5 song titles that all include the word goodbye. You'll have 60 seconds. Answer as many as you can. If you don't know one, say pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First question is the 2-second song. Paulie is queuing it up now. You'll get 3 or 4 seconds, really, of a song. You need to give me the song title and the artist to score that point. Troy, are you ready to play?
Yes.
All right, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when Paul plays the music. The category, again, The Long Goodbye. Good luck, Troy. Let's take on Woods.
When are you gonna come down?
Goodbye, Yellow Brick Road, Elton John.
Correct. You say yes, I say no is the first line of which 1967 Beatles
Goodbye,
release.
hello.
Flip it around.
Goodbye, hello.
Flip it.
Flip it.
Hello, goodbye.
Correct.
Yeah,
Train
yeah.
sings about imaginary reasons a girlfriend is gone, including getting run over by a crappy purple Scion, in which 2012 pop hit.
Pass.
Supertramp's Breakfast in America album featured 3 top 20
Goodbye,
hits.
stranger.
Correct. Sam Smith sings about getting dumped again and again, in which poignant 2017 hit that topped the charts in multiple countries.
Pass.
Go back to Train, sings about imaginary reasons a girlfriend is gone, including getting run over by a crappy purple Scion, in which 2012 Pop hit. I think 3 is good enough here. I can't see
That's a good
Woods
score,
getting
yeah.
the same 2 that tripped up Troy, the newer ones. I think could trip up Woods, but you did get Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Hello Goodbye, Goodbye Stranger. 50 Ways to Say Goodbye is Train, and Too Good at Goodbyes is Sam Smith. I like that score, Troy. Hang on the line. Let's see if it holds up. All right, Woods comes in. No help with the category. Let's put 60 seconds back on the clock. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Troy.
When are you gonna come
Goodbye Yellow Brick Road from Elton John.
Correct. You say yes, I say no, is the first line of which 1967 Beatles release written by Paul McCartney.
Hello, Goodbye.
Correct. Train sings about imaginary reasons a girlfriend is gone, including getting run over by a crappy purple Scion, in which 2012 Pop hit.
Goodbye, Virginia.
Incorrect. Supertramp's
Crap.
Breakfast in America album featured 3 top 20 hits. The Logical Song, Take the Long Way Home, and which other single written by Rick Davies?
Pass.
Sam Smith sings about getting dumped again
Pass.
and again. Supertramp's Breakfast in America album featured 3 top 20 hits. The Logical Song, Take the Long Way Home, and which other single written by Rick Davies? Time is running out.
10 seconds.
Goodbye to my taint.
Goodbye Stranger, and that means I thought so. Troy with a 3-2 win today.
Man.
In the category The Long Goodbye.
Couldn't get it to connect in my
Train.
head.
I didn't know if you played Train when you were a DJ. 50 Ways to Say Goodbye. And then Sam Smith is Too Good at Goodbyes. This was a goodbye.
No, we didn't go
category.
down the train route. Thank
Didn't-
God. That would have put me over
didn't
the
go down
edge,
the train
I think.
tracks?
No, down the train tracks would have put me over the edge.
I can see that.
Avicii, rest in peace, almost did it.
Troy, stay on the line. Paul, you'll get your
Congrats,
information.
Troy.
Congratulations.
Is that
You
my
are
first
in.
L? No, I have
Second
2
L.
L's.
Second L this month.
Man.
Now we have about 4 or 5 qualifiers, including real or fake. So we'll have a drawing at the end of the month for the grand prize. We'll have another opportunity to qualify tomorrow at this time. And then we have the big showdown. I hope you're in good form against John Flint at
Well,
the end of the week.
Today's any indication, I won't be.
I know. The new stuff is definitely trickier for you. No doubt about
It's
it.
not. I'm good at all of it, so it's fine.
All right.
Just
You
depends
gave
on the
up on
day.
Sam Smith immediately.
Yeah, it's the terrible stuff I'm really bad at. You're right. I will
All
give you that. The really, really horrible
A lot
artists.
of people
I'm-
like Sam Smith.
Exactly. A lot of people like Jelly Roll, too. Sorry to the Sam
We got
Smith
Craig
fans
Elston
out
joining
there.
us. We'll
Get
talk,
mad at me.
get his take on the Padres rumors and more coming up next with Bennett Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Okay, player. This is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Fan an announcement coming up at 9 o'clock, a rental report as well. And just saw some news from over the weekend that I missed about a fairly big acquisition for San Diego FC ahead of the new season that's just, a few weeks away. Craig Elston can give us his thoughts as he is standing by and will join us right after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury.
This report is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Jam-packed northbound on the 5 at Mile of Cars Way, all because of a collision in the center divider. And then the northbound side of the 805 slows down at Madison Avenue. The center divider is also blocked with another accident. You have a crash on the 15 southbound at the 78 and on the 78 westbound. Somebody broke down at Jefferson Street. Whether you're dashing through San Diego or heading out of town, make sure your car's in the game. Friendly techs at Valvoline Instant Oil Change will check your lights, wipers, tire pressure, battery, and more with every oil change. Grab holiday savings now at SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Sue Aller with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And joining us now on our David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline for the Padres Hot Tub Podcast, the Crow Maniac himself, Craig Elston. And Craig, I just read this now from The Athletic. Tom Bogert or Boger over the weekend. SDFC finalizing. Bogert, okay.
He's always trying to fancy stuff up. It's Tom Bolger.
San Diego.
It must be
Bolger.
Ryan,
I don't know.
You guys remember Ryan
Soccer's
Berger?
a very international sport, so
But
I wanted
remember-
to keep my options open for pronunciation.
The guy we traded Freddie for me.
Ryan Berger.
Ryan
Berger.
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 No,
Berger.
Berger. You have to say Berger.
All right, so they're picking up a forward,
Thomas.
Lewis Morgan from New York Red
It's
Bulls.
Morjan, actually.
He's a Scottish. And is this a designated player slot? Because he's not cheap, from what I'm reading.
It is not.
Okay.
I think they'll cover it with one of the AMs, either the GAM or the TAM. They've got a lot of GAM and they've got some TAM. I know that. But
That's allocation money of some sort.
I was like, what are we talking
yeah.
about here?
Yeah.
It's confusing, is what we're talking
But now they have a
about.
lot
The
of
confusing
forwards,
ways.
Craig.
Yeah. Well, look, Lewis Morgan could be this team's number 9 next year. Every year he's been. Here's the thing: he missed almost all of last year. He had a hip injury a couple years ago. He had a knee injury last year. Then he had a quad. So he's one of these guys that's kind of like the British sports car in the garage. It's either looking great out on the road or it's in the shop.
Yeah.
Waiting for repairs. But in this case, it would be a Scottish roadster. But he's really good, double-digit goals. And he could fit in as the number 9 that has been missing from the SDFC attack in its entirety. They didn't really have an effective 9 except for Milan Olaski for a month last year. Or last season, I should say. So this could be a really big move. And I read some stuff out of New York that Lewis Morgan was, really close to being ready and that, big smiles around camp. He's excited. He was ready to contribute this year to New York Red Bulls, who a couple years ago went to MLS Cup. So if you think about that, really exciting, fits a need, and represents what we heard about SDFC, which is that they had money to use, that they have flexibility to add to the team. They let Luca de la Torre's loan expire, and he'll go back overseas. And as such, they had the freedom, and here comes Lewis Morgan.
Very nice. Nice to see a team, Craig, get close to the promised land, shut it down, regroup, go spend some money. Obviously, things are a little bit quiet in Padres land right now. I did see just came off the board. Adolis Garcia just signed with the Philadelphia Phillies. That happened a couple minutes ago. 1 year, $10 million. And we were talking about it in the break. That's the kind of deal in my mind. For $10 million, there aren't really that many bad 1 year deals. I think where AJ Preller and company have gotten themselves into trouble over the years is the 12, 13 year deals, Craig, for multiple millions of dollars. But Power Bat definitely looking to make a bounce back after a poor season for him, but certainly has done it at this level. And for $10 million, I thought that was a pretty good deal for the Phillies.
It's kind of Castellanos light. I mean, if you need another. Yeah, if you need
is he as bad as
sub-300
Castellanos?
Come on. I mean, look what he did last year. He was worse than Castellanos.
Was he last year?
He was terrible.
Oh, he was terrible.
Well, like I said, he had a bad year. A bounce back is what he's after currently.
He's had 2 bad years in a row.
Has he?
Yeah.
Got some pop.
As a fantasy owner a couple years ago, who had him for his good year and then wanted to get him again. And was like,
rode him for a while.
Yeah.
It's $10 million.
Well, see that, and I was making the point to Woods. It's not that you are hamstringing yourself with a $10 million contract forever, but if you play him for 3 or 4 months trying to get something out of him and he's still bad, that's the cost.
He had as many home runs as our potential DH, 19. Our potential DH and Gavin Sheets, exact same number of home runs. I think he had more RBI than Gavin Sheets last season. Now you're not paying Gavin Sheets $10 million, but you see my point.
Well, I definitely didn't want Adolis Garcia. So it makes sense for Philly in the sense that they've got a tiny park that he could, get hot and bomb things out of. And that's why I called him kind of Castellanos light. I mean, 3-4 years ago, Nick Castellanos was still a low on base percentage, poor defense player, but he was going to get hits and he was going to hit bombs and he fit the ballpark.
His OBP is horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Garcia's that. And if they've tired of Nick, they'll tire of him. as well. But maybe he can get his blood ozonated and it can really help him out. So, that's kind of a hidden benefit if you're traded to Philadelphia.
That's true. The cutting edge of medicine up there in Philly. Really excited to see how that all works out for him. But he was, I'm looking at he had 25 homers a year before that. Look, for a team that's desperate for slug, he has some of that, but I just don't know who else is out there, Craig. Anybody, I know you always have your eye on a couple of under the radar names, and you've done pretty good with that, actually, the last couple of years. Who do you like right now for the Padres?
We did this exercise on Padres Hot Tub a couple weeks ago for the starting pitchers, and we went through and kind of marked guys that we would be willing to talk about, and then went for value. And the funny one that kind of hit the middle of all of our nexus, and this is going to be way off the radar, I think, but Tyler Anderson, ex of LA and LAA, is a guy that I think fits our ballpark, is coming off of a medium-ish Tyler Anderson year. But if you're looking for, as you guys were talking about, 450 innings to fill, I think you could get Tyler Anderson. And if he bounced back and used the ballpark well, you might get, for $5 million or something like, I don't know, but for less than what he made, because he was at 13 per with the Angels.
Free
that's
agent?
a guy I've had. Yeah, he's a free agent. And that's a guy I've had my eye on for a long time. We know what he did with LA and how successful he was. And he went to the Angels, which is kind of a bleh organization. And he still posted up and did all right. I think he would be a good value guy that would be way better than Kyle Hart. And if you could take that upgrade and push that into the rotation, now you've got a little bit more room to, Dustin May was a guy that was on my list.
Yeah, ours too.
Yeah, we talked about him last week.
Yeah, so him going to the Cardinals on a 1-year deal, that's the kind of thing I was hoping that you might be able to get.
You can go get him in July. I can promise you. There for whatever I don't think they paid him very much at all. But if he goes and has a even a slight bounce back, they're going to look to flip him, I'm sure, at the deadline. But yeah, it's like we talked about this morning, and you just mentioned that you'd heard it.
Yeah, I'm glad you did.
I'm okay. I've learned, as I said, to be as a Padre fan, just wait it out to the deadline, and kind of go out and get the pieces that he needs.
Craig, do you agree, though, with my admittedly rosy contention that Padres coming off a 90-win season, the offense should be better with a full season of Ramon Laureano, Freddie Fermin, and hopefully a little bit of a bounce back power-wise from guys like Fernando Tatis Jr., that to get the pitching that you have lost now to replace, I said what you lost was 24-28 with a 4.2 ERA and 450 innings. Joe Musgrove will take some of that, hopefully, but that's what you're looking to replace. And to me, that is very replaceable this offseason without, spending an arm and a leg, which means the Padres should be a team that can contend to win, 88 to 94 games again next year if AJ Preller just does a halfway decent job of finding some starting pitching this offseason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They started with a core of a solid playoff team. They've got an aces bullpen, and you take Robert Suarez out of it, okay. But you've got several guys that are knocking on the door to get into that bullpen too, like a Bradley Rodriguez.
Yep.
I think he's a player that could be really good for this team. Does Morgan take another step up? You've already got 4. Like, having 5 was crazy. So I think you've got that to begin with, and you've got a lineup that is pretty predictable and pretty solid. Now, how do you add power to it? The single best way is to get 10 more homers out of Jackson Merrill, 10 more homers out of Fernando Tatis Jr., 8 more homers out of Xander Bogaerts, go up and down the core players and crank them up a little bit. And that's the best way to do it. That's what Eric Grupner would like more than anything. The internal improvement, right, that he talked about on your guys' show at the end of the year. But if you make the right moves around the margins and you add a little pop at first base and in the DH role, you should be able to have a pretty nice offense because you're already starting with a base of 7-8 guys. You could even, in theory, if you had to move, I don't want to see Jake Cronenworth move, honestly, at this point, but if you had to do something like that, you could still, okay, one move and you're right back to what you want as a lineup. So I'm reasonably optimistic. I mean, my goodness, I was thinking about this listening to you guys as I was walking the dog this morning, in terms of like, when is according to the Doomers, we're already in our period of decline.
Yeah.
It was
Ken Rosenthal said this morning that the Padres' competitive window may be behind them. I mean, they're starting to write the eulogy on a national level for the San Diego Padres as an organization.
Yeah, if you're a Mets fan, writer / national writer, sure, you'll think that way, because you're always casting it in terms of how can the Dodgers, Yankees, Cubs, or Mets get better and reclaim their rightful spot at the top of the pyramid. So, yeah, I don't think Preller thinks that way. I'd love for Homie to get an extension and sign it. That'd be cool to do. That'd be a thing that you've talked about for months that hasn't happened. Would really like that to happen so that we know for sure that AJ Preller's at the wheel long term.
Dennis Lin did report last week that the contract expectations remain that a contract will get done with AJ Preller, but we've said that for a month, 2 months.
Expectations remain. You know, expectations can remain. They can remain for a long time. If he's not signed, there's no question in my mind that 2026 is going to be a banger because he'll go out on a bang. Like, he'll want to head out to the market in a period of time where GM / Pobo is about the only thing a franchise can spend on, right? During a lockout type situation. Yeah. Like, he could be the hottest thing on the market.
Yeah, no doubt.
In a year.
Somebody will snatch him up.
The literal hottest thing in the market.
There is no doubt about it. The day his contract runs out or the day they let him go, he will have a job.
There's been a lot less turnover in Pobo positions, though. You had the Rockies this offseason. That was about it. There wasn't a lot of jobs open this offseason.
But I think if AJ Preller's available, I think teams that maybe didn't even know they were in the market.
That's true. They're now in the market.
They're now in the market.
Yep. Interesting.
It's a real thing. I'm just saying, sign the extension. Let's stop talking about it. Let's get to actual brass tacks and do it.
Craig, you bring it up. Is him not having signed an extension yet, is that negatively impacting the offseason in any way?
How would we be able to tell the difference? Like, is it impacting his ability on February 20th to figure out the free agent starter that's fallen through the cracks that he can sign to a unique
deal? Do we
deal?
get the sense that the Padres came close or short on any of the free agents that have signed already? I don't.
No,
I mean, Dylan Cease, I don't think they. I don't think
Dylan Cease going to sign here, but the lack of president stability.
I don't think that's made a bit of a difference yet, Paulie. Could it in the future? Maybe, but so far, no. I don't think AJ Preller's status has impacted a single free agent decision this offseason.
No, and Michael King is interviewing and touring the whole AL East. He knows where the money is. He knows where he's going. You know, I think there's some guys who don't even want to be on the West Coast long term, just from their family and everything else. You know, I think Soto was a great example of that. Somebody who just didn't want to be here. It doesn't fit to the time zone to the DR. So, yeah, you know, it is what it is. I'm steeled for a classic Padres offseason where the hottest news is the stuff I will say on the radio, as opposed to a word I would say on the podcast, that national writers chum up, you know, because they talk to agents who have talked to a GM that is not AJ Preller. And says, "Oh, what do you think the Padres are up to?" "Oh, well, I heard." And then leads us down Francisco Lindor Avenue, which was a lot of fun for a couple of days last week. "Oh, well, will the Padres get Francisco?" No, of course not. It's crazy. So, you know, we're going to hear the stuff, and maybe a thing happens, maybe. But I don't particularly want to see Laureano traded. I don't particularly want to see Pivetta traded.
No.
And if they are, and it's just for young starters, okay, you know, good luck. But I don't see us down that road. I see us down the road that is more where Ben is, you know, lighting things up. The avenue of we're going to contend again one way or another, because supposedly some dark windows in the future for the Padres. They don't want it to start in 2026. So, you know, I think they'll try and keep this bad boy rolling.
Keep it rolling.
Craig, happy holidays to you. Always appreciate all your contributions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy.
You bet. You guys have a great winter break, and we'll chat to you on the new year.
All right, we'll come back with the biggest fan announcement, some Roundel Report headlines, and more. Stick around. Ben and Woods, go until 10 o'clock here on 97.3 The Fan. Already 30 seconds behind in the final hour of the program, but it's always worth it for a little Black Betty. Ram Jam. Thanks again to Craig Elston. He appeared on our David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Have the Roundel Report, some headlines coming up for you momentarily. First, though.
Real quick.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Just a little tease for that Roundel Report.
Okay.
I think I have found the best play-by-play audio for a sport that has ever been found.
Fantastic.
Happened over the weekend.
Really?
I know neither
Better
of you heard
than
it.
like a Korean call of a Ha-Sung Kim Grand Slam.
I think so.
Wow.
I think so.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Bold statement.
It's pretty good.
I'm trying to imagine what it was.
What sport?
Basketball.
Basketball.
yeah.
All right. I saw a crazy high school football Hail Mary to win a state championship in Florida, but I don't think the call was incredible.
That play was
Did you see
insane.
that play?
Of course I did.
Last play of the game, Hail Mary, but the kid can only throw it to
Yeah.
the 5-yard line. And it gets caught, and they're going to tackle him like at the 5, and the game's going to be over. Somehow he escapes from all the tacklers, cuts to his left, scores the game-winning touchdown.
State championship.
They kicked the extra point because it was tied then,
Yeah.
and win the state championship.
Unbelievable.
It was unbelievable.
Since we're talking high school sports, I saw some clip going around from the weekend. It was not in California, but there was a high school state championship. Kid had a field goal to win it. There was like 20 seconds left, I think. He missed. Shanked it bad.
Yeah.
But then they got the ball back. And then like some crazy trick plays. He ended up getting another shot for the game
Oh,
winner,
God.
like literally as time expired.
Oh, my God. He
Nailed
made
it.
Oh, he
No,
nailed it.
thank
Nailed
Because
it.
if you told me he shanked it again,
No, he
that's
nailed
a
it.
terrible
Won the
story.
state. Like he thought
Wow.
he probably felt lower than any other kid on earth,
Yeah, for
thinking he just lost the state championship. Got the ball back. Freak plays. Craziness ensues. He gets the chance. Kicked it. It was so cool. Really fun to watch.
All right, everybody who's tuned in right now to get our biggest fan announcement, you will have 10 minutes to call us if you hear your name at 833-288-0973. If you call us back, you will qualify for our grand prize. It is 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey Suite at a Padres game next season with all the fan staff, catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. And this morning's biggest fan is Marissa Martinez from San Diego. Marissa Martinez, you are on the clock, 833-288-0973. And it is the last few days to get your name in, if you don't have it yet, at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan to qualify for our biggest fan grand prize drawing. All right, well, Marissa hopefully dials us up. Paulie going to pay off his tease here with the Roundel Report.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Roundel Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All
right.
All right. How we doing, gentlemen?
Not bad. Last week of the year.
Got you.
You're getting
got me right
Got you mid-drink.
mid-drink.
You good, Woods?
Mm-hmm.
Everything good over there? All right.
Mouthful of lean body.
Lean body. It's kind of an aspirational drink.
It is, yeah. Aspirational drink. Really, one of my resolutions is to visualize things more. So, yes, this lean body protein drink is what you got me right in the middle. I'm good. I'm fine.
Make yourself a lean grilled cheese for lunch.
I got lean cheese. I tried to make myself lean chicken salad, and you heard how that
Yeah, it
went.
didn't
in
go
the
well.
oven.
All right, we will get started here. I will pay off that tease. We'll go to college basketball over the weekend. I'm guessing neither of you were watching Nebraska and Illinois.
No.
Actually, pretty good game. A couple of top 25 teams. I actually was not watching as well, but I did see this highlight going around. The score is 80-80. Nebraska has the ball. Nebraska is the road team. This is in Illinois' house. Tied 80-80 with 4 seconds left. And listen to the buzzer beater called by Nebraska's own Kent Pavelka is his name. He has been calling Nebraska basketball for 41 years.
Wow. Okay.
and I think this is the call of his career.
Battle along the baseline, except for Sam out into the timeline. 5 seconds to go. Sam drives the ball, kicks it. It is Lawrence, puts it up. God! 2 seconds to go. Inbounds play. I'm going to pass out. The game is over. Nebraska wins it.
That is
oh god,
genius.
There's definitely an element of medical emergency in there as well from the call.
One more time.
Kicks it. It is Lawrence, puts it up. God!
Say that.
2 seconds to go. Inbounds play. I'm going to pass out. The game is over. Nebraska wins it.
You could say that whole thing while you're making love, all of it. 2 seconds to go.
2 seconds to go. Inbounds play. I'm going to pass.
All right.
I'm going to pass out. I'm going to pass out.
Skip over
Yeah.
it. I'm going to pass out.
Yeah.
2 seconds to go. I'm going to pass out.
I love it. 42 years he's been calling it?
41 years
41
he
years?
has been on the call for Nebraska.
It is Lawrence, puts it up. God!
The first one has a bit of a good before he gets to the and then
Oh, Carlos, what a throwback here. I'll have what he's having. Oh, man.
for Rob Reiner.
Rob Reiner.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
good
Brilliant.
call. Good call there.
Wow.
I think I knew, back to Rob Reiner real quick. I think I knew the story, but I saw it going around like crazy yesterday. He met his wife, and that inspired him to change the ending to
When Harry met Sally. Then we're
Sally.
going to get together. And then he met his wife and believed in love again. And they said, all right, Harry and Sally get to end up together at the end of the movie.
Fantastic stuff. All right, that was some good audio out of college football. We'll go to the NFL. Tom,
Basketball.
what did I say?
Wasn't it about football? That was basketball.
Oh, sorry. Out of college basketball, we'll move over to the NFL.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady getting dragged a little bit by people. I want to know if you guys think he deserves to be dragged or not. So Fox, NFL on Fox or whatever, their studio show, they had a feature yesterday with Aaron Andrews and Carissa Thompson. And they had a list of their top 5 gifts that quarterbacks have given their offensive linemen over the years.
So Ben.
Oh my God! Yes, thank you.
So Ben.
Some of the awards, as my computer takes a dump on me right
Cool.
now. Matthew Stafford, I think he gave his O linemen the giant cold plunge tubs to have at their homes. There's been
Watches.
Yeah, exactly. Really, really thoughtful, cool, expensive gifts that the quarterbacks will give their offensive linemen. And they decided to give Tom Brady the honors, I guess,
Yeah.
of being the #1 best gift.
You got plunge tubs, golf carts, luxury SUVs.
Yeah, Kyler Murray, I think, had the golf carts.
Yep. Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. Here is what they had to say about Tom Brady, but there is a catch. It's not just the gift. Listen for what happens afterwards.
All right, are we ready for this? The #1 quarterback gift giver, 2007, Tom Brady. Of course, that's when his.
By the way, Tom Brady's on the set. with
He's on
them.
the set, yeah.
Of course, that's when his team went undefeated in the regular season. He gifted his O-line. Ready? Brand new luxury SUVs.
Wow.
What a class act. You got a guy.
Now, that's a pretty good gift.
Damn good
Sure.
gift. Yeah.
But wait.
Hey, I want you guys to pay attention. There's a catch. There's a catch. Tom Brady, stop stealing our line. The catch to all this is the Cars were on a 1-year lease.
Those Australian sisters again?
Beggars can't be choosers.
Beggars can't be choosers, he says.
Tom Brady, yeah. Beggars can't be choosers. So he got a 1-year lease
Enjoy
for
this
all of
for
his
a-
offensive
Enjoy
linemen.
it for a year. And we're going to need it back.
Is
Also,
that
don't go
a-
over the mileage.
Yeah, exactly.
Is
Are
that a
you,
good
you
gift?
responsible for the mileage overages?
Of course you are.
Oh, yeah, right? It's under his name.
No, Tom Brady would not be.
No, the players
The player would
themselves
be,
would be
right.
responsible
He
for the
puts
mileage
The
overages.
lease is under his name, but he puts everything else in their names. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Does he just? If you're Tom Brady, this is what they say.
I mean, in a
2007?
way, he's hedging his bets. What if they don't like the SUV, and at least they can decide for themselves if they truly like the car. And then after a year, it's depreciated. They can decide to keep it if they want, or
And then
not.
pay for it. It's not really a gift if I have to pay for it
Well,
down the road.
I would like to think that if Tom Brady and remained quarterback and they remained offensive line, he would then renew the lease
I don't
for
think
another
he
year.
did.
But if they move on to another team, it's like I don't want to keep paying for your car. You're now
you're
now
just
playing against me.
You're Tom Brady. You go in and you're like, I want to get 6 SUVs. What's it going to cost me? $4 million, whatever it is.
Right.
All right, write you a check. Thank you. And then you drop them off.
Buy 'em
I'm not
outright.
going to let me buy you some golf clubs. And I want you to pay me for them next year when you're after you've used them for
Or
a while.
hey, here's a chore for Christmas because in a year you're gonna have to now get out of this lease, sell
Sounds like
it.
a nightmare, to be honest.
I think if you're gonna go big, you gotta just buy the cars.
Yeah.
I think the worst present of all those that you listed, though, are clearly the cold tubs. Because that is a very selfish present. That's telling you, I want you to be miserable so you can recover fast enough to protect me even more going forward.
Well,
because
no,
cold tubs are just the worst thing that I've ever tried in my life.
Well, I bet I promise you, his linemen love the cold tub. You know what I mean? Like they're all probably jockeying for position in after you get your ass kicked up and down the field. So much that throwing one in your home would be elite.
You don't have to share
Listen,
it. With
Yeah, you don't have
anybody.
to share
Here's
it.
a little bit more from that clip because they actually talked about that.
Tom had another line about gifting the old lineman the ice tub bath. What was that?
I said it's like giving your mom a toaster.
Right.
Thanks, ladies. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
So you didn't think they were gonna appreciate it.
They
Very
already
much.
have access to those every single
True.
day of their lives, and you're just giving
Having
them
one at
another
home, though,
one.
is great. It'd be great.
That's the last thing when I get home from a long day at the football training facility is then I want to hop into a cold tub.
I don't know that that's true. Actually, I think they know how good it is. They
Yeah.
probably can't wait to get
It
it.
doesn't
sucks, but
feel good. I
No, it
get
sucks,
that
but
it's
it
good for
works.
recovery, but it just feels miserable. I'd be dreading going home. knowing
It sucks that
still
it
got to do my
sucks,
cold tub when I get home.
but it works. It works.
It
Yeah,
works
my-
so well that you're like, I hate how good this works
Yeah.
because I know this is going to suck, but it's
Why
going to
can't
be
things
better.
that work be
Well,
really enjoyable and comfortable? Why do they always have to be painful?
Some things are, but it's good for you. Yeah, you're not supposed to do it. People keep running into the mistake of working out, like lifting weights and then jumping in the cold tub. No. That constricts the muscles you've just been trying to engorge.
See, they
so
say-
don't do that.
They say the same thing about massages, though. If you get a massage that feels really nice,
That's
like
not
nice,
a good
gentle-
massage.
That's doing nothing
No.
for you. The only ones that do anything
You have
for
to
you
bite down a
are the
spoon.
ones that really hurt badly.
Yeah.
Nothing that's good for you ever feels good.
It's true. Like Greek yogurt in your chicken salad. I'm never gonna let it go.
I just feel like we're designed poorly. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Why don't they make the good tasting food good for us? Why is it always the bad tasting food that's good for
Tastes
us?
so good.
That makes no sense.
I know.
We've been designed poorly. I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
I agree. Cold tubs I don't like them either. I hate them, but they work when you're banged up and you're sore and you've just played a couple games at fantasy camp and you go sit in one, your legs they feel better when you're done. And for an old lineman, I got to imagine that would be an elite gift. Elite. Plus, they're also big too. Like, you have your own scene. Now, hot tub, elite. Love
Hot
it.
tub,
Hot
great.
tub would be great. That's also another chore. That's another chore. Maintaining. So is that
yeah.
cold tub. I bought one of those ones off Instagram, as you know. And it was fine. Filled it up. They give you the water treatment stuff. You put it in there. Come back the next day. It's brown. Looks disgusting. Film everywhere. I'm like, this is terrible.
The quarterback who gave it the cold tub should have also had cold tub maintenance
Yeah,
guys
right.
showing up daily or weekly to maintain the cold tubs.
Yeah.
All right, finally, we will wrap it up. This coming Wednesday is National Maple Syrup Day.
Okay.
Syrup or syrup?
Syrup.
I've said them both. Syrup.
Syrup.
Well, syrup if I'm home in Texas. Syrup if
Syrup.
I'm here. Yeah.
I think
Syrup.
that's a Y. It's a syrup.
Yeah, syrup.
Okay, we'll go with syrup.
It's not Syracuse. It's Syracuse.
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 So to celebrate National Maple Syrup Day on December 17th,
Scissor. That's one.
Denny's it has announced the launch of a limited edition high top sneaker that is made with real Denny's syrup sealed into the shoe.
Why? For what purpose?
For National Syrup
But
Day.
can you see it? Is there a window where
So-
you can kind of see it?
Yeah, it's got. I'm going to put up a picture here on the stream.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got like this clear panel along the side of the sneaker.
shoes?
So they look like yellow.
They look
high
like
top.
They look like
Converse.
Ronald McDonald.
They look like Ronald McDonald
shoes.
sneakers.
With
It's
real
got the
syrup
Denny's
in 'em.
logo, and on the side of the shoe, the outside part of the panel, it's got this like clear, whatever panel, and they stuck
Syrup.
some syrup in there.
Syrup.
They are charging $175. No, sorry, $195. They were designed by a legitimate shoe designer.
Paulie, if you buy these shoes, I'm going to lose my mind. My hair's going to fall out. I'm telling you right now, if you buy the Denny's syrup shoes, you're going to make my hair fall out. I'm going to lose my
I'm
mind.
sorry, this is a way better
Cancel
ad for
Woods'
McDonald's than
Christmas
Denny's.
presents.
They look like Ronald McDonald shoes, and they're basically the McGriddle of shoes, where you've got the syrup
Syrup in it.
already in them. You don't have to pour on the syrup onto your shoe.
In a pinch, you just take your pen, and just pop it, rub some on your gums. Look at
It's unbelievable. So their whole marketing behind this is they're talking, everybody's talking about drip these days. You got to have the cool drip. Well, we're Denny's. We have the original drip. We drip our syrup all over the waffle or the pancakes and everything like that. So that's what they were going off of. And they drop at 9 a.m. on dinerdrip.com. That's like Denny's own merch store. $195 shoes with
They need
syrup.
to make a baseball cleat version so someone can hit a grand slam while having the grand slam breakfast shoes from Denny's.
I want this week to be over. I just want it to end. I'm ready for my vacation now.
Yeah, perfect for, as Jeanine says, AJ Preller has them on pre-order. He loves
He loves
Denny's.
Denny's.
He loves basketball. Perfect combination.
They have syrup in them. We've just evolved. I don't know what's happened, but there they are.
That was a wild one. I had not seen something like that before.
All right. Thank you, Paulie.
$200. They're probably well-made shoes. If you think they're cool, I probably would stay away, but I'm sure they're not a complete piece of crap, at least. Like, they're probably going to be built well, but you're going to have syrup inside of the fabric of your shoe.
Somebody's going to wear them, dude. Both my kids are going to be asking me in 6 months for the Denny's syrup shoes.
If you walked up and like poked the side of the shoe
Yeah.
and syrup just
Syrup comes
oozing
out.
Looks like it.
Yep.
Certainly looks like it.
Thank you, Paulie.
All right, we'll take a quick timeout. 2 years, $40 million was the contract of the weekend. We can talk about some of the moves in Major League Baseball's offseason. Coming up next with Bennett Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3, The Fan. It's been now almost 3 years since I went through the SDFatLoss.com program. Got on the scale this morning. Proud to say I've kept all the weight off. I probably could use a better job, maybe a little refresher course on my eating, but we'll get to it next year. And if you haven't started losing the weight, now is the perfect time to sign up with SDFatLoss.com because you can get $400 off, the lowest prices of the year from SDFatLoss.com. They will show you how you can lose up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 60 days. Eating regular food from the grocery store like steak and chicken and vegetables, no shakes, no bars, no prepackaged meals, no injections, and no exercise necessary to lose the weight. Is that even possible? Absolutely, because I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. If I can do it, you can as well. I'm not the only one. The tier ones that have done the program over the years, they always come up to me and say, hey, I did it. I lost this much weight, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. I've heard up to 100 pounds. People go through the program a couple of times. If they have even more weight to lose, you can do that as well. They will support your journey every step of the way. Just sign up for your free consultation by going to SDFatLoss.com. Take advantage of the special now. You don't have to start today. You can wait until at this point, just go ahead and wait until after the holidays. You can get started, but lock in your best prices right now by going to SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Handful of free agent moves in Major League Baseball over the weekend, including two with the exact same terms. 2 years, $40 million. Wonder which one Woods thinks was the better deal. The Diamondbacks signing pitcher Merrill Kelly to a 2-year, $40 million deal. A quick reuniting with Merrill Kelly after they dealt him at the trade deadline to the Texas Rangers. And then the Mets signing infielder Jorge Polanco to a 2-year, $40 million deal, coming off a really good postseason with the Seattle Mariners. Good player as well.
He was good in the postseason.
To me, I mean, Polanco seems like the better of the two deals, but of course, pitching is always at a premium. And Merrill Kelly's still good at age 37, but you've got to figure over the next 2 years, he's got a better chance to slip off a little bit, maybe than Jorge Polanco.
Well,
but
I mean,
we'll
it's
see.
just Polanco's a weird move for them because they want him to play first base. He's yet to log an inning at first base at the major league level.
But they needed to replace Pete Alonso.
Correct. So they replaced him with a second baseman, infielder. Weird.
Padres have had second baseman playing first base
many years
for the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's just a weird move for the Mets. The Mets with David Stearns and this brilliant mind and deep pocket Steve Cohen. It's just weird. It's a weird organization. They do weird stuff, and this is another example of that, in my opinion. Does he help their lineup? Sure. 12-year veteran, been in the league a long time. It's just a weird move.
I felt like Merrill Kelly had more value to the Diamondbacks than just about anybody.
Yeah.
Not that I would have turned down a Merrill Kelly, but that felt like
overpay?
Too steep of a price.
Yeah.
$40 million for 2 years for Merrill Kelly. He's been good, but That seems like a.
I mean, I know
if that's how much pitching costs, then it will be tough to fill out the Padres starting rotation.
Yeah, for sure. And the Padres are, I just saw the Ken Rosenthal thing. Did they miss their window? They may have taken their best shot already. All right, that's fine. I mean, there's really no way to know other than, you got to take into account where they play, what division they play in. Dodgers are getting better. We all know that. I mean, this somebody's going to have to take those dudes down to do anything to win a World Series. But, when it comes to the San Diego Padres, this is a move that I would have questioned today, even as a team that needs a first baseman, right? 2 years, $40 million for Polanco. We're just going to put him at first base. I would have thought that was a little weird, but we're also the team that plugged Luis Arraez there for the last couple of years and hit him in the 2-hole, despite what the numbers told everyone. So we do weird stuff too.
I absolutely disagree with the statement that the Padres competitive window has closed. I think that's false. 100%.
Competitive? No, not at all. I don't think
this year. Well, I mean, if you think you can get to the playoffs, then you're a World Series contender.
Sure.
And I think this year it's absolutely open. Padres need to make some moves. It's absolutely open. I will entertain the notion that they've had better chances to win the World Series in previous years.
Correct.
We've seen them get closer. I don't think that window is expanding. It's contracting, but this year is definitely inside.
Yeah, you're in the mix.
The window to compete for the San Diego Padres. And AJ Preller, as general manager, is not going into the start of the season without a team that he thinks can get to the playoffs, and if things break right, could go deep in the playoffs or even win a World Series.
Yep.
That's what his goal is this offseason. I have no doubt about that. Will there be some constraints? Of course. But his goal will be to put a team on the field that he believes can make the playoffs, and then when it gets there, if things go right, could win the World Series.
Sure.
That's in the competitive window.
Yeah.
There are teams that are not in their competitive window. They're looking to do other things. They're looking to trade stars for young prospects and restock your minor league system, and teams occasionally need to do that. Padres aren't doing that.
Not there yet. No.
They may trade some money somewhere, but that's only to open up other money to pay pitchers so they can get, what they believe is a competitive season. They're not, pulling the plug on competition in 2026.
No,
there's no way.
Not even close. I mean, you look at the top of the lineup. The top of the lineup looks good. It looks good. It looks absolutely good.
I think the whole lineup looks
whole
good.
lineup looks fine right now. Yeah, 100%. The
bullpen looks great.
Bullpen looks phenomenal. As if the season started today, you go, all right, man, it's going to be lean in starting pitching. But other than that, you're like, I feel pretty good. I feel good defensively. I feel good offensively. And I feel good with the bullpen. So can you win baseball games with that formula? No question about it.
And last year, remember, they had one really good starting pitcher.
And they
year.
And
he is back, by the way. Nick Pivetta is his name.
They had Merrill and they had Tatis. They had a black hole, DH, black hole. At left field, black hole catching position. I mean, there's 3 black holes.
I thought last year they were a slightly above average team. And I just right now, obviously the story of the offseason is yet to be written. They barely put the pen to paper, but I thought they were a slightly above average team that won, swept the Diamondbacks to get to 90 wins. They were bounced in the first round. Like, I think they got a lot of room to go to make up to be like seriously competitive.
I mean, making the playoffs is
you got to the third game in the wild card series.
Were the Reds World Series contenders just because they made the playoffs?
When you get to the third game in the road series against the Cubs, could have gone either way. I mean, that those games all could have gone either way. Once you're there, you are as close as you need to be to get to the World Series. Were they ever going to beat the Dodgers this year? I don't know if anyone was going to beat the Dodgers. They certainly had the Blue Jays had their chance to take them out in the World Series this year. I thought the Blue Jays were better than the Padres. I know the Dodgers were better than the Padres this year. I can't say that there's a ton of other teams that I think the Mariners were definitely better than the Padres at the end.
We just didn't hit
at the end.
If we hit against the Brewers, we could have beaten the Brewers.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like if you hit,
they won the season series against the Brewers.
Yep.
But they didn't hit all years. 2024, that felt like an anomaly. Like 24 scoreless innings.
If Ramon Laureano had been healthy in the playoffs, I think they beat the Cubs.
100%.
I don't know how far they
100%.
get, but I think they could have gotten past the Brewers too. So Then you're up against the Dodgers, and you probably lose that NLCS against the Dodgers. But we know they're not going to compete on paper against the Dodgers because no one will this offseason. But they were right there, I thought, last year. And I think they can get to that level again, where they can compete with every other team on paper other than the Dodgers. And then, you just hope something crazy happens if you have to face the Dodgers in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like a flu or something sweeps through their clubhouse. They'd probably still find a way to win and use it to motivate them.
Couple other moves over the weekend.
team comes out.
Yeah, come on to the AAA team goes and whips your ass.
Mentioned the Cardinals signing Dustin May, which, we were kind of in on Dustin May last week. We were talking about him, but as you brought up, you could have him later in the year possibly because the Cardinals don't look like they're going anywhere. And the Tigers signing Kenley Jansen to a 1-year contract plus a club option.
I missed that.
He's 38 now, but still pretty effective reliever.
Getting it done?
So,
how much?
They did not see any financial terms, just that it was 1 year plus a club option for 2027. So those were the weekend moves. And then Josh Bell signs this morning with the Twins. And you had the Royals pull off a trade in which they acquired Isaac Collins from the Milwaukee Brewers after a solid rookie season. Going young, but also majorly competitive. Royals were not that far off from the playoff mix last year. We'll take time out. We'll come back, wrap things up on a busy Monday morning with more Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 0000466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Our card room, make it your card room. 7 Mile Casino. If you walk in, and when I walked in for the first time, I truly was floored. I looked around and I go, this place is fantastic. You'll see the California-style blackjack tables in front of you. Woods, that's your game.
That's my game. That's the game I like the most.
Over to the right, Texas Hold'em. We both enjoy Texas Hold'em. Over kind of in the back, Pai Gow Poker. I like Pai Gow Poker a lot. And then right there by the restaurant, the Baccarat tables, which neither of us still quite get or understand, but
want to.
There are always players there. And
always.
I mean, people do love them some Baccarat.
I couldn't agree more, but I mean, if you want to go play some cards, that's definitely the place for you. Not a place for you if you like slots. They don't have slots there. It's also a smoke-free environment as well, but great place to go grab food, a drink, go have lunch, and sit down, play a few hands of California-style blackjack. It's a blast.
One of the only 24/7 options in San Diego, not just for the card room, but for the food, the 24/7 players menu with the Kung Pao chicken, the Asian pork chop, and more fantastic eating any time of the day. Check it out. It is 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Suffering some brain freeze right now. You okay? Coldest water you've ever had? Why is it so cold? Are you okay?
EcoWater system
I
got
know.
me real
Gnarly.
good. Holy smokes.
You look like you were like in pain or something.
I was trying to take my vitamins and I mean, knocked me on my ass.
No, spoiler alerts if you're watching Pluribus, but there was a scene this week in which Carol wanted something ice cold.
Yeah.
Not lukewarm, not tepid, not cold.
Ice cold.
Ice cold.
Get it right.
K-Laws wants to know, are we going to be able to try the EcoWater system during the extravaganza? I think so. You're not really supposed to meander into the kitchen.
Yeah, they usually put up like
ropes.
Ropes that say Odyssey staff only.
Yeah.
But if you ask really nicely, I'm sure someone can get you some EcoWater.
It won't be
while-
me.
while
Don't
you're
ask
here.
me, K-Laws. Ask Ben to get you EcoWater on a break.
By the way, just heads up. We do have a
Ask Adam.
we have a live attendance, a live audience
Yeah.
planned for Friday. Those RSVPs have already gone out and they have been closed off for several weeks now. So please stop asking.
Yeah, it's closed.
Stop inviting people.
Not going to. So quit
Yeah.
asking.
Stop asking me.
The words of Nick Saban.
Yes. Yeah, they brought some EcoWater last year. Maybe we can get that to do it. Get them to do it again.
That was before we had the system, right?
Yeah, before we had the system.
Now we have the system.
Now we have the system.
We can fill big jugs. If you still have those big jugs, we can fill big jugs for our tier one.
Fill my big jugs every day.
Right. All right. Let's get one more check of traffic here, and we'll wrap things up. Wrap things up for a Monday here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury.
This traffic report is brought to you by the California Office of Traffic Safety and Caltrans. Jammed on the 8 westbound at Greenfield Drive, all because of a collision. It's moved to the shoulder, and the 125 northbound also slows down at the 94 with another wreck, and it's in the center divider.
My mom, my dad, works for Caltrans. On a freeway, right next to speeding cars. Please be careful. Flashing lights mean move over. Brought to you by the kids of Caltrans.
All right. I'm going to test Woods here, see what kind of person he is, because I know he thinks he's a good person.
Wow.
Jeez.
And I think you are
I
too.
also think you're a good person.
Thank you, Paul. I
Woods.
appreciate it. I thought about him this weekend quickly. I went to the I had a guitar that I needed to get fixed, and by fixed I mean restrung, and also
because you can't do it yourself.
Also,
right?
I don't do it well. I can do it. I just don't do it as good as they do. I also had the action lowered, meaning the strings now are closer to the fretboard, makes it easier to play.
Oh, I like that. The action
was lowered, and they put a new pick guard on for me. These are things I could not do myself. So I go to pick it up, and I'm walking out, Paulie, and I put it in my car, and I think about Ben's comment a few weeks ago. Woods doesn't have the voice of an angel. And I go, why? Why did he say that? Just randomly. It was like singing a song. And he goes, Woods you don't have the voice of an angel. Like, well, very few do.
Very true.
All right,
I
so
don't have
now
the voice of
I'm
an angel either.
Now I'm not a good person.
All right, so here's the question. Was any part of you secretly pleased that the Seals struggled so badly in their first game without you on the microphone?
Yes.
How could you? You love those guys.
I do.
You want them to succeed.
I did.
They got their butts
throttled.
kicked by Rochester on yesterday afternoon.
At my last
Derek's debut on the mic at the Electric Factory was not that electric yesterday, unfortunately.
At my last look, it was like 16-5, I think, and I went, "Oh, New Era's not off to such a good start."
I was wondering how you felt about that because I know you were afraid that they would just take off like a rocket ship without you. They ended up losing 15-7.
15-7. There you go.
They did win their first game. They're 1-1. It's fine. You know what? You're not going to win every single game, likely. Their next home game is not until January 3rd.
I watched,
but a tough debut for Derek. I'm sure it was hard to keep the excitement level up in a game. They fell behind, I think, 3-0 or 3-1 early, and never really were within striking distance the rest of the way.
And we had so few of those games, but they do exist. And where you're like, you know, I can remember my PA next to me, the production assistant would be like, "Hey man, pump up the crowd." I'm like, it's 12-1, dude. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm not a magician. Like, and I finally, after a while, I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not wasting my bullets like down 12-1 in the middle of the third.
Pick
Let's
a time.
Wake up! Come on! Yeah. Get your asses in gear. Like, forget it, man. No, I'm not doing
the
it.
Team needs to drive that
They
level
drive
of excitement,
it.
and then
Yes.
you channel it back
Correct.
onto the arena floor.
You get me within 3, I'm gonna take my shirt off and beat the glass. Like I
Right.
always do. But I did feel terrible for Derek. I did. No, I saw the game and I went, oh man, that's not how you want to open the home season. No, I actually did feel bad for him because it's such a gnarly first day on the job anyway. You know, new sport, in the box, big expectations, all of it, and they just go out and get throttled. They just got throttled yesterday. It happens. That's the weirdest thing about that sport, man. You literally have the best team on the carpet, but one couple bounces go the other team's way, and they get on a run, and they start moving. Next thing you know, 6 goals are scored in 3 minutes.
I got caught up because I went Friday after the show to their practice. Guys had gotten together to work out at their Rady Children's Field there in Point Loma where they practice. Really nice little field behind the YMCA, just kind of tucked in a canyon there. And they got me going. They got, we're healthy again.
Yeah. Got you all fired up.
Trevor's feeling good. Like we got Trey LeClaire is getting much healthier than he was last year. I'm thinking, oh, this team may never lose a game.
And they could be.
And then they go out. I know Rochester is always really, really good. Can't say it's going to be a good or a bad season based on one game, of course. But I was a little surprised yesterday.
I got a couple nice.
It was on ESPN too. I flipped it on for a while.
I watched some of it too. I heard Derek, and I thought Derek did fine. From what I heard him doing the walk of shame. I'm trying to think what I heard the defense chant, like, the normal stuff. But I think that team will rebound. They got too many good players not to. I think Riglieri, the goalie, had a pretty bad start, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
And the other team's goalie was fantastic.
Really
Seals had
good.
more shots, I think, than Rochester, but he had a really good
From
game.
what I saw, they were moving the ball well. Shots, the goals will come. They moved it really, really well. They looked younger. They looked more athletic. So I think they got a good year in store from just not off to a good start. And I did feel terrible. Like, that's the last thing you want in your debut. We won our debut when I was there. It was the coolest thing ever. First game ever in history for the team. So to have them win it and you're in the house was pretty cool. But I think Derek's going to get a chance to call a lot of wins this year.
And I wanted to know if Stephen A. Woods had any thoughts on the NBA Cup semifinals over the weekend, with the Knicks advancing to face, surprise, surprise, the San Antonio Spurs knocked off the Oklahoma City Thunder, handing them just their second loss of the year, with Wemby throwing a little shade after the game at Oklahoma City. He said he wasn't trying to, but he said, hey, we play good, ethical basketball, which is a shot at Oklahoma City, who are foul merchants.
Oh, okay.
They are just begging. They're like making the refs so tired of blowing the whistle. They just keep hammering until eventually the referees just basically just play whatever. We're just tired of blowing the whistle. That was a shot at Oklahoma City. He said, "No, I'm just saying I'm proud of the way we play. Good.
So that's really how
ethical basketball. That's part of their strategy.
Just
yeah,
hacking,
they hack. They play very physically, and eventually the whistles just stop getting blown.
Don't you worry about your best players not being able to play because they have too many fouls?
Well, you don't. Yeah, like Shai Gilgeous doesn't. He's not the one that's fouling, but everyone else is just hammering the other team.
You get 5 or 6. What is it? 6?
Six.
Yeah,
Six in the NBA.
So like use them sparingly.
Scatter 4 or 5 around for everybody. You can foul. You
It's
can
weird.
commit a lot of fouls in the NBA.
It works. It's
It does
proving
work.
to work. I was watching. I saw a clip from a few weeks ago. Richard Sherman was doing like post game on Thursday Night Football or whatever, and he was talking about how when he played and he was an elite corner. He said, I pretty much held on every single play. I challenged the refs.
Make a call.
Are you going to throw a flag on me every single down? I doubt you are. So I'm going to keep doing it. And I go, is that good sportsmanship or
Well, not sportsmanship, but like it's a good strategy.
So Chris Collinsworth last night, Sunday Night Football, said, and it was, I thought Mike Tirico was like floored. He said, yeah, I coached when I was coaching like my high school kids or whatever he was. You always try to get one last shot in right at the echo of the whistle, because that usually ticks off the other guy and then he'll retaliate and then he'll get the one with the penalty. But if you play like so hard until just a fraction after the whistle, you won't get flagged for that because it's so close to the play. But you can get the other person then
to react.
And then when they react, you just back off.
Whoa,
and
me?
take what? I didn't do anything. But every single play, you were like just a little too long. You're playing past the whistle just a little bit too long.
I recall a conversation I had with Darren Smith years ago when he was really first getting into soccer. And I think it was back at the 1090 days. And he was just like really getting into it, and integrating it into his show way before, he had an MLS team. And I gave him the old standard, dude, the flopping drives me crazy. The guy grazes your elbow and you hit the ground. And, he explained it to me as part of the strategy of the game. And once I kind of got that in my mind, I was a little bit better with it, right? Like, all right, it's part of the strategy. But you see it too. Like, you can't do it in soccer so much. You start to flop too much. They start banging you for overacting.
They're watching that a little bit more in soccer,
which I think is cool.
And you're not acting. You're actually like driving them into the ground, like just for a fraction of a second longer than you should every play in football. It's different in soccer.
Football, basketball, even different. Soccer, it is, he grazed my elbow, and the arms go up, the falling on the ground, the writhing after. You can tell officials
it's
are
one
like,
of the biggest
enough!
complaints people have about soccer.
Enough. But the officials now are like, enough, not doing it. It's like you and your kids. You're like, that's enough. Oh, you got punched in the
And they
face
come out with the
again?
magic spray, and you're all good again.
Yeah.
in soccer.
Yeah, so
somebody that doesn't watch much soccer, like it was always like one of the biggest pet peeves I had, I guess. And I was like, I would talk with friends about it, and I know this sounds really stupid, but I'm like, I couldn't get over that.
Yeah,
the blatant flopping.
He
and
explained
acting.
it, and when he explained it to me, I went, okay, I understand. It doesn't mean it's visually awesome to look at, but I understand why they do it.
If
Part
you
of the
played
strategy.
through it though in soccer, I've gotten the sense. If you just played through it, like you were like, I'm not going to I'm just going to always. You would never get any whistles calls or yellow cards.
Yeah,
because they're like, oh, he looks fine. So unless you react, like he kicked me in the leg, unless you fall over like you're dead
and hold your leg and rise.
They don't blow the whistle in soccer. It's the only time you can get the calls.
You see some flopping in basketball.
Sure.
Football rarely, but
Sometimes.
you'll see it. So guys try to sell for a call. I mean, can you imagine like a hard slide at second base and like guy comes up with his foot up or whatever, and Xander just backs off like 14 feet into left field. He's like,
Xander loves soccer too. He should employ that. No, but it makes sense. I didn't know they played that style though. But no, I don't have any comments because you didn't let me prepare for it, so I didn't. Had you told me,
We're
I
out of
could've-
time. We're
I
out of
could've had
time anyway. We will see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. With 4 more hours as we get our final week of the year, wrapping up toward completion and our big Christmas and holiday extravaganza on Friday. You definitely don't want to miss that. Braden and Frank. Frank is back from Baltimore. Tell you all about his adventures at the Army-Navy game. It was a good game. Navy scored late to pull out the win and avoid the upset. So we'll have all that for you coming up next. For executive producer Paul Reindl and Stephen Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Monday from all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.